2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Was hanging out with Seth Rogen's mom in Europe.
And I actually didn't even know it. I didn't even know it.
Wait, what should we email Seth Rogen's mom? Can we do this all as a show? Can we have her?
Is that your Seth Rogen impersonation?
You sound like Beavis and Butthead. So we have to figure out, what do we want to write to Seth Rogen's mom?
Let's ask Seth to come on the show and talk to the Weedham.
He would be like their Pied Piper.
She's going to get him to do a cameo. That's what's going to end up happening.
Where we're going to pay. What a deal. Way to know people in high places.
She gets a 25% off discount.
I know what the cameo would say. Be, hey, I heard you were on a cruise with my mom. Cool.
And that costs $600.
They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
I do not want to hear the words Brock Purdy and MVP in the same sentence ever. Hey, welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Okay, maybe not ever, but today, listen, we have plenty of college football to get to, massive weekend, but just cleaning up one thing from last night's game, because the final score will tell you basically everything you need to know. The Giants were terrible on third down. The 49ers were awesome on third down. There's your recap. But I'm seeing now a movement here for Brock Purdy MVP based on some early season numbers. Specifically, ESPN Stats and Info, who has come through with this gem that Brock Purdy is the third youngest player in NFL history to throw 700 passing yards and 4 touchdown passes with 0 interceptions through 3 games. And the only other players younger to do that are Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, both in their MVP seasons. That is not a genuine argument there. Like, that's not, those 3 people could be in the same conversation, but they're not in the same conversation.
So give me the stat again. Slow down here. And, yeah, do that whole stat again. I'm totally confused.
Brock Purdy is the third youngest player in NFL history.
Third young, but he's already 24. How old is Brock Purdy? Okay, go ahead.
700 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions through 3 games. The only other 2 people who started off with seasons this hot statistically, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes both in their MVP seasons. Mahomes is 2018 MVP season.
Quarterbacks that young.
Yeah.
So lots of quarterbacks have done it. They've all been older than 24.
But these guys who are so young and but just the idea you'd mention Lamar's MVP season and Mahomes' MVP season implies here that you think Brock Purdy could be on his way to an MVP season. And that's just not the case. Listen, I like Purdy. He's perfect for the 49ers. He is perfect for the 49ers, and they're going to win tons of games. They already have. They're going to win tons more games with Brock Purdy. But please don't come around with MVP stuff.
Okay, so do you think he gets a vote for MVP? And let me give you some context here. Last year, 15 players got votes for MVP. So that means, can you name 15 better players than Brock Purdy?
Listen, I can't blame writers who are homers. I don't even know who votes for MVP.
Well, it's incredible, by the way. Tua got a vote last year. Geno Smith got a vote. Tyreek Hill, Justin Herbert got a vote.
Okay, so I can't guarantee you he's not going to get a vote. But anyone who watches the game, you can love Purdy. You can love the touchdown pass to Bell, the touchdown pass to Debo. These are some really nice throws. He had a lot of pressure in his face last night. But please don't tell me he's the MVP, guys.
But why are you dinging Brock Purdy for anything last night? You're creating a negative storyline when there's none to be had.
No, I'm just saying, can't we just praise the fact that they're putting up 30 points a game? He did it last night without Ayuk. We don't have to go all the way to the other side to put them in this, hey, these two guys had these numbers, and they were young quarterbacks, and they went on to win MVPs.
Nobody's doing that. Okay,
I just told you that this is the stats. You can massage these numbers anyway. And I think what people are missing the point, I didn't think they were, but maybe they are missing the point on Purdy, is the numbers are great. But so much of this is yards after the catch. That's why they call the team the Yak Brothers. That's like they have merchandise. They're selling T-shirts because of Kittle and because of Debo and because of Brandon Ayuk when he's healthy. Not to mention McCaffrey, who's also very good at yards after the catch.
So, okay, Brock Purdy he started off really slow last night. We all saw that. And everybody was tweeting, oh, he sucks. Well, he obviously caught fire because the rest of the game, he was just unstoppable. But here's the thing. They blitzed. Here's the number, 33 out of 39 dropbacks. So they were always blitzing. Yep. So, of course, they were over pursuing these screen passes. And not only that, they couldn't tackle anybody. Brock Purdy didn't have a chance to do anything because the Giants just couldn't tackle anybody. So what's he supposed to do? He did exactly what the defense gave him, and that's why he deserves full credit. I don't want to hear any Brock Purdy negatives at all, not even non-MVP votes. I'm telling
so
you. He did a great job. I give him a lot of – yes, I think if you're going 15 deep, I think he's one of the top 15 candidates for MVP. I think honestly, McCaffrey's probably a little ahead of him, but I think McCaffrey will get hurt. So I think he will be, at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to win MVP, but I think he's in that top 10 mix.
Oh, come on. Anyone who watches that, answer this question to me. Is Brock Purdy elevating his receivers, or are the receivers elevating Brock Purdy?
I don't care.
Come on, that's a huge
I'm just telling you, he's going to be an MVP candidate.
I don't see it. I think that's like the wrong way we should be thinking about MVP, because Brock Purdy plays quarterback, so inherently he's super important to what the 49ers are doing. But I don't even think he's like the most important guy in the field. We saw Josh Johnson come in the NFC Championship game before he got hurt. He actually could run the offense too. Like, I'm not saying any dude can go in there. It's not the village idiot can't go in there and do it. But I'm just saying, Manny, I'm sorry, you're not going to be eligible for the job, as you were pointing to yourself. I don't see how you can watch that game and be like, the most spectacular player, the most valuable player on that field tonight was Brock Purdy. That's just not true. That's just not true. Debo's the playmaker. McCaffrey's the playmaker. I'd even give Kittle, and then obviously look on the defensive side. They're amazing.
First of all, I already guaranteed that Sam Darnold's winning a playoff game. So
yes, you
I
did.
agree
That
with
was
you.
early.
I totally agree with you on everything you're saying, but give Purdy a lot of credit because, as the announcer said last night, the guy has an unnatural knack of keeping everything in front of him and keeping things in control and knowing how to do these little. I think you're underestimating how hard it is to run that short passing offense. There's a lot of quarterbacks who can't. So supposedly more talented quarterbacks, taller, bigger arm guys who can throw the ball 40 yards down like a rocket. To throw those little screen passes in a position to get Debo into the yak is like, it's not that easy. And besides, it does not matter. I know that Debo's great. I know that McCaffrey's great. I know Ayuk, who wasn't there last night, and Kittle are great. At the end of the day, the quarterback always gets the credit. It's how it always works. Your guy, Josh Allen, the only reason
There's no team without Josh Allen.
Right. But until Stephon Diggs got there, he was average. Then Diggs gets there. Right. He's spectacular. Guess who got all the MVP votes? Not Diggs.
Yeah.
Allen the quarterback always gets the votes.
I think that Diggs and other receivers that make these quarterbacks look good, they should be considered more. But it's people like you, yes, you, Perloff, who call all these receivers system receivers.
Well, I think that, first of all, McCaffrey and Debo aren't even really receivers. I mean, what are they?
Football players.
McCaffrey's not a running back, and he's not a receiver.
Yeah.
He's something else. Debo's not a wide receiver, and he's not a running back. He's something else. Kittle's great, by the way. I don't know. I'm not even really sure what to do with this offense. It's so unique. But then again, they had an exhibition game last night, so who even cares? Why are we even judging? There was nothing. Nothing there with the Giants.
Okay,
nothing.
Manny and Samter as my witnesses today. Did Perloff not say, I will not watch 1 second of that game last night? Meanwhile, I'm seeing tweets fly in the first quarter about, the punter.
I never heard him say that.
I watched the whole game, and I regret every second. Jamie Gillen, that guy can ball. I watched this whole stupid game,
tweets.
And Brian Dable scripted a great first 15 and gave me hope that the Giants were going to be in the game.
Yeah.
Dable, the Giants coach. Then what happened? Then it just turned into the worst game. It looked like a college football game. The Giants could not tackle any San Francisco guy. So here's the question about Purdy. Okay, I understand. Last night, Debo, untackable. Christian McCaffrey, awesome. Even Elijah Mitchell. What happens when they play a real team? Don't you think that it's going to be more on Purdy? Like, the balance will shift more towards the quarterback. Purdy better be good. I'm not saying he's going to be good, but he better be like a legit MVP candidate. Otherwise, they're not going to beat the Dallases and the Phillies and the Chiefs eventually in the Super Bowl. I think he better be, if they're going to win and get where they want to be, he has to be closer to an MVP than what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree with you because I hate to it feels like a bit of an inevitability. Like, Ayuk's already out one game, but they have the other guys who are able to cover up for it. If McCaffrey is healthy like all season long, this would be like Tua staying healthy all season long. You'd love to see it. It'd be amazing. It would, be game changer in terms of stories for the season, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah.
I hope I'm proven wrong, but I can't look at the track record and say, oh, yeah, pencil in Christian McCaffrey to be healthy all season.
One thing I will give you, if he is healthy all season, I think he's a better MVP candidate
than Tua?
Than Purdy. Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, McCaffrey.
I would honestly.
Tua's better than both of them.
And I think Debo is right there, but I think McCaffrey, if he put together 17 games, could be the Niners MVP candidate. But I looked at the odds this morning. Purdy's ahead of McCaffrey, but I think that's only because we all assume what you assume. McCaffrey's never put together a full season.
Yeah.
Or it's been a long time.
It's been a while. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. I know we've got some diehard 49er fans in our audience. We know we're on in Northern California. Purdy and MVP in the same sentence. I mean, even the diehard 49er fan, you guys know that's crazy. You could be happy. Listen, the team's averaging 30 points a game. The offense got on track last night and ended up looking very good. The numbers are all gaudy, but you guys know, come on, that's Purdy's part of it, but that is the skill position players who are elevating Purdy. And also a little bit of luck that Trent Williams didn't get kicked out of the game last night for a closed fist. Is it a punch like on the side of the face of who is that? A'Shaun Robinson, Manny?
Just the fact that we're debating whether it was a punch, and that's what everyone is doing today, to me says it wasn't that obviously a punch. Like, we all know a punch when we see it. And you saw what Trent Williams did, and you're like, it's sort of a punch.
I don't know. It kind of met all the criteria for a punch. It's like, is it a closed fist? Is it on upside the side of his helmet? I mean, it didn't do any damage because he punched a helmet.
Well, the NFL said it didn't rise to the level of kicking him out. It didn't strike me as a full-on punch.
That's two questionable ones from NFL refs in the last couple days about guys who, by the book, could have been kicked out of the game but weren't. Trent Williams and then Deshaun Watson on Monday night for pushing an official.
Honestly.
Could have been but didn't.
But I don't think you have to have black and white. Like, even Deshaun Watson, I didn't think that rose to the level of where he should have gotten kicked out of the game. It was somewhat incidental. Last night, is this really a punch like... Was it Mike Tyson knocking out Marvis Frazier?
I mean, but sometimes it's not that obvious, but I think it met the criteria.
The fact that you're describing that as meeting the criteria to me is like,
well, that's what I'm talking NFL ref speak.
If you see two guys on a subway fighting, you don't say, "Oh, he punched him," is what you would say. You don't say, "Oh, that met the criteria of a punch."
No, I'm usually running for my life.
I just think it was subtle enough. Yeah, actually, I'm watching it again.
It's a punch,
but it's not really a punch. You sort of cock your fist. It's a half slap. It's a close-fisted slap.
Okay. All right, put that in the Chat GPT.
Also, too, you punch a dude with a helmet. Who cares? You're risking more to your hand than you are to that guy.
Yeah, it's just dumb. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio is where you can watch the show. Laura is in the chat. Says Purdy is my September VP.
Really?
My September VP, like MVP of September.
Is he?
I think Tua would be my September VP.
Well, we've had 2 games, but yeah.
Well,
let's see. Who else? There's got to be a bunch of. I mean, we're 2 games in. I assume Baker Mayfield could be in your list. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It's 2 games. The overreaction this year, by the way, is I don't know what. We're talking about Brock Purdy MVP. We're talking about Tua. 2 games, Maggie. What is with the overreaction this year?
3 games for
3. But are we trying to compete with the Deion hype train to keep the NFL relevant by assuming that? Why are we talking about the MVP award after 3 games?
It's not
and
me.
You're not alone. It's everybody. I understand, not you. But guys, let something play out.
It says the person who's checking MVP odds every commercial break.
Well, I think this Tua being the front runner is. There's got to be somebody else. You can't peak too early in this kind of thing.
That's true. It's like the Heisman.
Yeah, it's not going to be Tua. I don't know who to bet on. It's a wide open race. Maybe I'll put a $5 on Brock Purdy just to make you mad.
855-212-4CBS. Purdy and MVP in the same conversation. I can't get there.
What if it's like this? Brock Purdy is going up against future MVP Jalen Hurts in the NFC title game. That's the same conversation. There you go. Done.
Future MVP Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. You like what I did?
What year?
I don't know.
Just into infinity. Other thing, too, one thing that really works in Purdy's favor, ironically, is that he was the last pick in the draft. We all know this is true. Like Justin Fields, a first-round pick over here fighting for his life fighting for his career, not his life, fighting for his career on a crappy team with questionable coaching and everything's going wrong and the pile-on has started and he can't complete a pass and all that stuff. But meanwhile, Purdy walked into a great situation. I know he's not making as much as Justin Fields. He's got a roommate that we learned last night on the broadcast. I know
that was awesome.
Living with an offensive lineman.
Totally get it. I don't care. When you're 22 or 23, it's fun to live with people.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't have wanted to live alone right when I got out of college. But also, I mean, listen, the housing prices in the Bay Area is insane.
The fact that Al Michaels did you say, he's like getting more money than Brock Purdy for that game? It's insane. Actually, Al Michaels made more for that one game than Purdy does for the year.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. 855-212-4CBS. Michaels has still got it, though. There's a lot of Michaels slander that's going on online. We can get to this another time. I think that's wrong. I think Al Michaels has still got it.
I wish he could get better games.
Yeah. Nobody does it better. This is underrated Al Michaels. Everyone do you believe in miracles and all of his famous calls. The underrated Al Michaels call is when a quarterback is about to get sacked and he just goes, "Look out." So good. It always works.
Ooh, next week he's got Detroit at Green Bay. That feels like a great opportunity. I like it. I love Al Michaels. Yeah. Let's support the man.
I know. We're still in on Al Michaels. 855-212-4CBS. Purdy MVP. What do you think? Let us know. We want to say hi to the Weedos, the Purple Drinkers in the chat. We say hello to our incredible CBS Sports Radio affiliates. Thank you so much. The absolutely free to download Odyssey app is where you can find the show. It's crystal clear. And Sirius XM channel 158. We get to your phone calls on Purdy. Also, the unexpected predicament that Deion Sanders found himself in this morning. Didn't see this one coming. Get to that in a moment. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
You can stream the NFL on Westwood One for free, sponsored by AutoZone. All season long, you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the NFL live on the NFL app by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports, or on the Odyssey app. Get in the zone, AutoZone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you find a fix for free. Get in the zone. AutoZone restrictions apply. Oh, I'm so excited. The local forecast is rain, rain, rain all weekend. That means on the couch, going to make my 4-star chili, watch 9 hours of college football or 12 hours on Saturday.
Wait. 4-star chili?
It's a 4-alarm fire chili, whatever.
Oh, I thought it was like, why not 5-star?
I don't know.
You're recognizing that it's good, just not great.
You don't know this about me because it was more of the old show.
Yeah.
But I have placed in several chili contests. I'm an expert chili cooker.
It's amazing. And yet here we are sitting here. This is now our second football season together, and never once. You've never brought any in. You've never offered to make any for the show.
This crew's a little too critical. I don't need
more than Dan Patrick.
I can already tell I wouldn't like it.
Yes, after.
I'm not critical. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
The Dan Patrick crew, are you kidding me? Free food was like anything. You could have, any chili level would have been descended on by 14 backroom guys.
We're the same. We're vultures.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
we'll eat day-old pizza.
Yeah, there's a lot of cold pizza consumed in this place. All right.
God knows what's on that pizza.
We'll see. Maybe that'll be this. We're trying to come up. We have so many bets going right now.
Yeah,
we need
do.
more steaks.
Can we also just put quickly this on the poll before I go to the phones? We're talking about Brock Purdy, MVP in the same conversation. Samter, how about this as the poll question? Will Brock Purdy get a MVP vote this season?
Oh, well, I already put out a poll just saying, should he be a top MVP candidate? And so far, 75% say no, he's just a game manager.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS. Joey is in Myrtle Beach. Joey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent.
So this is Brock Purdy being MVP. Like Perloff said, I think it's, there's only 3 weeks. Well, going into 3 weeks. If he could be consistent, I would say yeah. But if you put him in like a Buffalo offense, I don't think you're going to have the same quarterback.
Hi, my name's Jolie.
Oh, sorry, that's my daughter.
Oh, hi. That was really cute. How old are you?
I'm 10.
You're 10. Amazing. What's your take on Brock Purdy? I'm just kidding.
Good. And I like the Titans.
Very good. You're ready for a career in sports talk radio. Move over, Maggie and Perloff. I think to your point, Joey, and thank you, and to if that's your daughter, adorable. Thank you so much. It's the perfect offense for Purdy. I don't think it's a mistake that they recognized that and took him with the last pick in the draft, or maybe it was just total dumb luck.
That was dumb luck because they passed on him for 6 previous rounds, so they don't get any credit for that.
Okay, but maybe it's like, yeah, if he had to do an offense that was asking him to do way more, not that he's not doing stuff, but to run the Josh Allen offense, no way.
Everybody knows the deal here, that if you have a healthy Debo, a healthy Kittle, a healthy McCaffrey, and a sort of healthy Ayuk, you need a certain kind of quarterback. You don't want Josh Allen there. You want a guy who is going to get rid of the ball. So Purdy's perfect. And whatever. I don't think we should judge him negatively because he's doing the job in front of him. And the reality is that logic, like I don't think there's a fever pitch for Brock Purdy to be MVP, but I'm telling you, if he puts up 31 touchdowns and 3 picks and they're 14-3, he's going to get some votes.
I know, and I think those numbers are going to be really deceiving because that's like looking at the box score numbers, but that's not that. Sometimes the numbers tell the story, and sometimes they don't. And that's like Brock Purdy had 310 yards passing last night. Guys, come on, you watch that game. That's not the story. The story was he averaged 7 yards per throw, and it was all yards after the catch. We know this.
But he made some big-time third-down throws. I mean, first of all, I think he has a couple cheat codes. Kittle's a cheat code, absolutely. I mean, that guy
can stay healthy.
Yeah, Kittle, if you get the ball anywhere near him on third down, he's going to. So, yes, I totally understand that, but you know how this industry works, Maggie. It does not matter. You think Joe Montana had Jerry Rice around him, still was the GOAT until Tom Brady came along.
Here we go. Our pal Nick in Texas calling in today. Is today a special day, Nick?
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. Maggie Perloff. Again, it's been quite a while. But I want to call in and strike why the fire is hot. And I know you're going to get to it a little bit later, but I want to start this hour off with a bang and place a bet with Perloff on this Oregon versus Colorado game.
Okay, I got the Buffs. 21. Give me those points, buddy. Give me those points.
21 spread. You want to go with the points or you go with the spread? Like total points, or do you want to go with the spread?
No, spread.
Okay.
What's the stakes? What do you got in mind?
Okay, so I know Megan's kind of got a little thing with the duck, and we presented that last year. But I think a lot of people, and of course, the weirdos have been talking about trying to get you into something too. So how
Slip
about we
into
get
something
you
a little more comfortable?
buffalo outfit. Yes.
Can I get you into a buffalo outfit?
What is it going to take for me to get you into a buffalo outfit today?
It's gonna take Oregon to blow out. So wait, Nick, what is a buffalo outfit? Like, what do I have to, like a gigantic buffalo head? Where am I gonna get that?
I mean, Maggie found something pretty quick and easily on what she Googled, so we can do that together. I've already found costumes, so if you need me to fly those over, I can, but they're out there.
Listen, I got a guy. I can get you a buffalo head. Now, it's not going to be street legal, but I got you. I got something for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I'm looking at...
Couple of my dudes up in Buffalo. We can work something out for you.
Oh, right. Okay. By the way, Nick, I see there's a awesome-looking buffalo mascot costume. It's $2,000.
Well, you better really think Colorado is going to be able to keep this thing close.
I'm in, though, dude. I'd love as long as it's not a problem for you, Maggie. Because you, when Travis Hunter wore a giraffe outfit, you said that he was stealing intellectual property from you.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a little...
No show was going to do it like you guys. You know, you got the duck and the buffalo. Nobody can compete. He couldn't even compete with the duck suit anyway.
I know.
But here's the thing.
He's really trying to infringe here. He's like standing on my corner, and I don't like it.
If we have a duck suit and a buffalo suit in the studio, and we don't have it for the Oregon-Colorado game, that's going to be very disappointing.
Oh, well, you got to get to ordering.
He's like, okay, I'm in, though. And wait, what do you have to do, Nick? I didn't hear the other side.
Oh, yeah. So, Nick, what happens?
I don't know. You know, I've been trying to get a hold of you guys and try to figure this out before the call, but...
I got something for you. I got something for you. Wait, Nick, I don't know this for sure, but I know that the world is crazy now. Not a lot of... Do you go into an office to work or no? You're doing classes, right?
Yeah, I could do something in my classes.
Okay, how about you got to wear the Deion sunglasses and hat, and we need visual evidence that you're wearing this in your class or something like that.
Yeah, we need you to wear it somewhere where it is not acceptable to wear sunglasses and a hat.
According to
the Colorado State coach, Jay Norvell. No, but I said, Maggie, like, everybody wants to wear that outfit. It's hard to pull off. See, Nick's pretty cool. I think you could pull that off and look normal, no?
I'm already on the waiting list for the pre-orders of the vendors. So, yeah, they'll come out in December.
I think, okay, once you get it, you have to find...
Air glasses are perfect.
You have to find somewhere where it is not acceptable to wear sunglasses and a hat indoor and wear them
and wear it there. Deion
style.
I go
to church on Sunday?
Well, I mean, that's totally up to you. We're not going to tell you where, but somewhere to wear the Deion sunglasses and hat. How about that?
Got you. I think that's perfect.
Nick, happy birthday, man. Thanks so much. And listen, go Ducks.
Do you believe that?
We're on the same side now. Our forces combined. Thank you, Nick. Say hi to the family force. Our forces combined, I think it's a big spread, but let's go Oregon.
Oh, you're so conflicted. I can tell.
I know. You know how much I love this Colorado story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, you know, you keep saying that it doesn't matter if they win. The Colorado story is still huge.
Yeah.
Yes, because they play USC. It's going to get so much hype. But after the USC game, if they don't come away with one of those wins, it's not going to be the same.
Let's get to our daily Deion, Manny. Can we please have that?
Daily. Do you believe that? Deion. You believe that?
All right, today's daily Deion, a little bit different. No inspirational speeches or anything like that. No trash talk between him and Dan Lanning. It's all mutual respect. Everything's good. But Deion Sanders, a day after spotting was it a mouse or a rat in the Colorado practice facility in the locker room?
I don't know because I'm not a Colorado super fan.
Well, unlike me, / stalking the program. Deion Sanders, Lamborghini, ticketed in downtown Boulder, I'm assuming. He got a ticket on the Lambo.
You can't ticket a Lamborghini in downtown Boulder. That's the one thing you have to know if you were a meter maid.
Also, whose Lambo do you think it is?
Exactly. That's why you can't give a ticket to Prime. I think that person should, I'm not going to say be fired, but maybe suspended for a week.
How dare you give a ticket? No, listen, no one's above the law. We're not about that here. But I am a little surprised because of two stories, one firsthand and one hearsay. The hearsay story I always heard was that Kobe Bryant could park his cars anywhere in Los Angeles and never got a ticket.
Okay, that sounds unrealistic to me, but okay.
Yeah, but
how would all the people know what Kobe was driving? But please,
I think Kobe was driving a very specifically bright shade of some sports car.
Okay,
and like cops knew maybe around a couple of different places. Hey, that's Kobe's car. don't ticket it. Then the other is a personal story I have. The only time I've ever been in a Ferrari was I got to ride in a Ferrari with my old co-host, Bart Scott, who's an 11-year NFL vet. We were driving from this radio station to the Hooters in Midtown to do an appearance, which is right by Madison Square Garden, and he just parked his car right in the front. And I'm like, you can't park here. He goes, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to tow it, impound it, whatever. I'll just get it back. Like, he never cared about that stuff. And so I was like, all right, but I think you're definitely going to get a ticket. We go up, do the appearance, all that. Everything's good. Come out. No one had touched the car.
There you go.
Middle of Manhattan. So there you go. I don't think they're just giving tickets to Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff.
I will say, with all the star power that's been in Boulder the past couple of weeks, it could be anybody. That could be the president's car.
I was wondering, are there tech bros?
Biden drives a Lambo?
I mean, come on.
Should he be driving anything? I mean,
are there
definitely should be driving at night.
Are there tech bros in Boulder, though? I think there are.
Oh, there might be tech bros.
And everybody wants to see them ticketed, so I don't think anybody have a problem with that. I think that must have what happened. Some meter maid said, a meter maid, that's like a ancient term, isn't it? What do you call somebody who gives out tickets?
Like
I don't know. It feels kind of...
a parking ticket technician.
Yeah, meter maid feels a little dated. Anyway, but I think if you thought, this guy came up with some sort of app, ticket away, right? We all agree on that.
Unless it's an app that we use and like.
Even that, they can afford it. But Deion, you don't touch his Lambo. That's out of control. And if it's, what does Shador's drive? We know.
The Maybach.
Yeah. You can't touch his car either.
Clearly. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Okay, we've been doing this all NFL season long. Jerry Ferrara, Rob Corddry. Who is going to be our celebrity NFL game picker this week? Let the mystery build. You will find out right after this CBS Sports Update with Rich Ackerman.
CBS Sports Radio. Sports Flag.
It's week 3, and a couple of rookies are dealing with injuries for the first time. As expected, Bryce Young has been ruled out. Andy Dalton will start for the Panthers. Anthony Richardson has yet to see the field this week since Sunday's concussion, leaving Gardner Minshew as the likely starter for the Colts Sunday. Meanwhile, Odell Beckham Jr. leads a long list of Ravens that will miss that game. Others include Marlon Humphrey, Rodney Stanley, and Tyler Linderbaum. Notre Dame hosts Ohio State in a game that could shape the college football playoff. The Fighting Irish are 4-0, led by quarterback Sam Hartman, and head coach Marcus Freeman expects the 24-year-old to shine in the spotlight.
I think in his mind he has played in games like this. He's played in some big games at Wake Forest, and this moment won't be too big for Sam. You know, he year 6 for him. I have a lot of confidence that he'll be well prepared, and the moment won't be too big for him at all.
Colorado, energized by Deion Sanders, 3-0 after going 1-11, will face a big test facing the offensive machine of Oregon in Eugene. Right now at Wrigley Field, the Cubs have just scored 2 and lead the Rockies 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th. I'm Rich Ackerman.
Looking for CBS Sports Radio online, Maggie? Your favorite hosts and the best sports content and entertainment are available 24/7 on social media and YouTube.
And in the palm of your hand, Perloff with the free Odyssey app.
CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
To the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. It is that time of the week where we welcome in a celebrity to help us pick NFL games, and it has just been awesome so far. Jerry Ferrara was week 1 of Entourage fame. Week 2, Rob Corddry, Hot Tub Time Machine, Ballers. This week, Perloff, a true icon in an iconic movie. And that is Patrick Renna, most famously from Sandlot, so many other things. Of course, he's got Hambino Athletics, which you have to check out. Patrick, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, excited to be here. Real missed opportunity. I didn't wear my Patriots jersey.
Oh, we wanted to get to that because before we get to the games.
I wanted to lead with it.
Okay, we're here for it. Listen, I'm a Bills fan. Kind of happy you guys are 0-2 for once.
I know.
In the last 20 years, you guys are finally struggling. But, you know, there's an idea that maybe Belichick could be on the hot seat. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's funny. No, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Actually, in case I ever meet him, I want to be welcomed back in my hometown. And
you're not going to meet Belichick. No. Come on.
He doesn't hang out.
How do you know? He might. I don't know. Wait, so you're a Bills fan and you're a Jets fan?
No, I'm an Eagles fan.
Oh, I thought you said you were a Jets fan.
Yeah.
No, it's not that depressing around here.
Mike told me he's a Jets fan.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Do you remember when the Eagles played the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2017?
I don't. Did that happen?
Yeah. That happened.
What about when the Patriots played him with Donovan McNabb? Was he puking in the huddle? I seem to remember that.
That's right.
Patrick Renna is good enough to be our celebrity NFL game picker. We'll get to that in just a moment. We got some games for you. But you're also, you got to be a Boston Red Sox fan too, right?
Yeah. Okay. It's not a great year. For Boston sports, but we've had a lot of success. So, we can deal with the hard times.
I wonder, do you get more satisfaction from the Red Sox making the playoffs or from the Yankees missing the playoffs?
Definitely more satisfactions from the Red Sox making it, but a close second if the Yankees miss.
Yeah, I thought so. It's pretty bad season for them too.
Yeah, I think we're both bottom and second to bottom, so it's not great.
No. We had heard, and I think you had mentioned this as recently as during this calendar year, 2023, that you still have a text thread with some of the other actors from The Sandlot.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, it's great. It's we light it up once in a while. There's a couple Android users on there, so it's a green bubble text thread. It's pretty obnoxious. Yeah, I always like to call them out. Marty York and Shayna Baczynski. You can IMDb them. It's and the little brother. They're the green bubbles of our text thread.
Patrick, kick them out.
I've thought about it, but I can't. They're stuck in the movie. That's it.
What's the last thing you got that was on the Sandlot text thread? Like, what's the last thing that lit up the thread?
Well, this is the problem. I can't even search for it because it's a green bubble. Let me see. Hold on. I'll put in.
Patrick Renna, I'll just reintroduce you all, and we'll vamp a little bit. Patrick Renna, he's got Hambino Athletics, of course, played the great Hambino in the iconic movie Sandlot. Hambino Athletics. 2 thumbs up from this show.
I probably can't even say what's on there. It's
no.
Horrible. No, Tom Gyrie, who played Smalls, sends a lot of memes. So there's probably a meme or something from him. Or he's also a big classic rock guy, so he'll just write his own lyrics. He kind of takes over the whole thread. It's really a monologue thread for him. So it's got to be something like that.
That sounds less fun than I thought a Sandlot text thread would be.
Very extra.
Yeah.
Very extra.
It's not great.
Patrick Renna is here. He's going to be picking some games for us, but we also thought we'd do something fun. Perloff, take it away.
So you have an iconic line. You have several iconic lines in Sandlot.
You steal the movie, let's be honest. It's your movie.
People come up to you and say, you're killing me, Smalls, all the time, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I've heard it a time or two. Yeah.
So Maggie and I, for fun, did some research on iconic lines from baseball movies. Now, we were wondering, I know you're obviously a movie fan as well, if we'll give you a baseball line, and then you have to name
the movie?
Yeah, all you have to do is name the movie, not the character. Okay?
Can I cheat?
No cheating, no Googling.
Computers.
No Googling. All right.
Renna, we got our eyes on you.
Why don't you go first?
Problem.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
This is stressful.
Yeah, it should be. You're on the spot.
Well, there's going to be 2 movies that I'll know everything, but then there's the Bull Durhams that I've seen once a long time ago that I'm terrified about. But let's do this.
Okay, first one. There's no crying in baseball.
Oh, A League of Their Own.
There you go. No need to be upset.
Good start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, good start.
Just a bit outside. Just a bit outside.
Is that like Bad News Bears? That feels like Bad News Bears.
it's. Can we give you a hint? Harry Doyle here. I'll give you another hint. The guy who said it is actually a real major league broadcaster.
Oh my God! It's Major League.
You got it. Yes.
Yeah. All right, 2 for 2.
I should have gone on Harry Doyle. That's you can't give me that one. We're 1 for 2. Let's be honest.
You gotta be. You are good.
I blew that one.
You're totally fine.
Just a bit outside. You're right. Oh, I remember the scene too. Okay, that's so annoying.
How about this one? Hey, Dad, want to have a catch?
Oh, I almost didn't get it. Sandlot. That's Sandlot, right?
No.
Sandlot. How about
Isn't that Sandlot when Tom Gyrie goes to Dennis Leary? Doesn't he say something like that?
Maybe it does. Maybe he does say it in Sandlot too. How about this one? If you build it, they will come. Same movie.
Oh yeah, Field of Dreams.
Yes, but you know what? I think Patrick's right. I think they say it in Sandlot too.
I think he says it.
We didn't cry as much in Sandlot as we cried in Field of Dreams.
Oh, God,
hey, Dad, want to have a cat? Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm literally getting chills right now.
Wait, what are the two?
Scene.
Patrick, what are the two movies that we could have asked you that you would have known any line?
Oh, I should have said 3, but obviously Major League already blew it. But it's A League of Their Own and Field of Dreams.
Okay.
All right. I have okay, I'll give you. It's a classic baseball movie. I'm going to dig a little deeper here, and I think you might be in trouble. I Should Have Been a Farmer.
By the way, just Patrick, I didn't know this one either.
Yes, uttered by an iconic pitchman, if that helps, who was in Cocoon.
Well, also not helping.
Not Steve Guttenberg.
I wish.
Love Steve Guttenberg.
It was Wilford Brimley's one of his lines from The Natural. Whenever things are going bad, he goes, I should have been a farmer.
That's one that I for sure like. That's like on Bull Durham level, like The Natural.
Okay.
I need to see those movies again.
Can we all talk about the fact that Wilford Brimley was 49 when he shot Cocoon too? Have you ever heard that fact?
Really?
Yes, it was 1980, and yeah. Anyway, sorry. Well, I got one more. Maggie's got one more.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Then we'll get to our picks.
Yeah.
We promise Patrick Renna's being awesome. Hambino Athletics is where you can go to find the merch. This one's a little bit newer of a movie. So last 10 years or so.
Moneyball.
You got it. Yes.
I mean, there's nothing else worth even talking about in the last decade of baseball movies.
I was going to say there are rich teams, there are poor teams, there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us.
Okay.
Yes, you would have gotten it.
Yeah, I would have gotten it.
All right, this one's not a strictly baseball movie, but you might know it. Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo.
Wait.
That's definitely not a baseball movie. It's a baseball scene.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo.
I don't know.
Leslie Nielsen?
In what?
Oh, Naked Gun.
Naked
Sorry,
Gun.
I thought I'd go.
Oh, Naked Gun.
You're not I thought you had been a Naked Gun guy.
I don't know. I'm not like a slapstick guy, but I feel like I only got half of them, which is not good.
In
It's not
baseball,
good.
though, if you hit 500, that's good.
Sure. Okay. So I'm literally Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer right now. Yeah.
Well, your picks, you're going to get 75%
Yes.
at least.
And now we turn to our NFL picks with our celebrity NFL game picker, Patrick Renna, who's been good enough to join us today. Okay, so we've got 5 picks for you, 5 games. We're going to pick them against the spread. Let's go.
And I'm very stressed out. Okay, hold on.
Time for celebrity picks.
Okay, I've got them for you, Patrick. Don't worry about it.
You name them up.
I'll serve them up to you, and you can give us as much or as little on these as you want.
First is Jets Patriots. Right?
You got. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, and this is in New York.
Jets are a 2.5-point underdog, so your Pats 2.5-point favorite on the road. Who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, this is an easy answer. I obviously have the Patriots. Okay. Again, I do want to be able to visit my family when I go home again. And, I mean, come on. We don't have Aaron Rodgers. It's a rough time right now. It's a rough time. Zach Wilson, he's got to step it up a little bit.
Against that Patriots defense, I don't know. Okay, you got the very desperate 0-2 Broncos at the Dolphins. Dolphins a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah, this is the one that I would bet the farm on. This is Miami all the way. That's not enough of a spread. That's crazy. This is the only one that I'll guarantee.
Oh,
How about that? Well, actually, I won't even guarantee this one. But this is, I mean, it's 2 a time. Come on. They got 2 number 1 wide receivers. This is a joke.
Do you view Miami as like a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah. I was just in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and everyone there was throwing money on Miami to win the Super Bowl, just because that's like the great bet. I didn't do it, but yeah, I mean, it's Miami or San Francisco right now. Those are the 2. I mean, San Francisco's scary. I just watched that game last night. They do not look fun to play against.
All right, 3 more quickly here. The Bills at the Commanders. Commanders 6.5-point underdogs.
Yeah, I'm going to go Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think the Bills aren't who they said they were. I think they're a little bit fraudulent, especially this year. And I think the Commanders are 2-0 and they're on the rise. So
there you
I
go.
hate their name. I think it's a terrible name.
We all do.
But
Yep.
Hopefully, isn't there a new owner and it's all going to get fixed now?
Magic Johnson to the rescue. He's going to fix everything.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. That's right.
Last two. So you got Steelers at the Raiders. Raiders are a 2.5-point favorite.
Okay, so never bet against Vegas, right? House always wins. So I'm going Vegas. I feel like Pittsburgh doesn't get to Vegas very much. The fans, the players, they're gonna be out a little late. They're gonna be at the cabanas. Whoops, game time. It's I think Vegas all the way.
And lastly, Falcons at the Lions. Detroit 3-point favorite.
I think out of all the 5, this is the most exciting game that we're all going to see.
Mm-hmm.
And Lions are at home. Goff at home is pretty good compared to Goff away, so I'm going to go Lions.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm betting against my guy Bijan. I got him on my team.
I know. He's been a guest on our show many times. We love Bijan Robinson over
so
here.
Hopefully he goes off, but Lions still win.
Patrick Renna, Hambino Athletics. Go check it out for all of your fun sports movie and sports apparel needs. Patrick, thank you so much. You've been awesome. You joined us over the summer for our great debate series. We talked about baseball movies, and now joining us again to be our celebrity NFL picker. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Enjoy the games this weekend.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you too.
All right, there we go.
Yep.
Picks are in.
Yeah, those sound pretty good, by the way.
I know,
got to be
they
honest.
do.
I'm with Patrick, lock and set for most of those picks.
So the one, though, or two that could be really affected, because I don't know if the Dolphins, are they going to get affected by this weather pattern? I think it's
we're waiting
North
to see.
Carolina and North. So Commanders, Ravens, Jets game, maybe.
Yeah.
Bad weather games.
Yeah, are you, I know what you're doing here. You're working on Buffalo excuses, aren't you?
I'm working on unders. That's what I'm working on. Maybe some excuses. Okay, coming up, the best college football game of the weekend, undeniably. We get to the bottom of that next. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
We need a reset for Maggie. We desperately need something.
Laura said it's okay, Maggie. We'll all be okay. You don't know that, Laura.
Yeah.
I love you, but you don't know that.
No,
You know Maggie's got off the deep end when she's yelling at the Weedo.
No. Laura's perceptive. Today is more of an intervention than a radio show.
No.
Deep breath.
She's doing breathing exercises.
I want a camera on Maggie when Drew Gilbert hits a grand slam to win the divisional round, and I just want to be there and say, I told you this guy would play.
Yeah. In the year 2030, when I renounce my Mets fandom for good. I'm just kidding. I can't quit you.
They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Massive college football weekend. Hey, welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. So glad to have you on this Friday. And we have a big bet going on with the show, as this has become a theme now of our show about bets. We've got a new one today. Perloff and Nick in Texas. Perloff is going to dress up like a buffalo if Oregon wins and covers the 21-point spread. Nick has to dress up like Deion Sanders, the hat, the sunglasses, and wear it to some place that Jay Norvell would consider inappropriate.
No.
So we've got that going on. Plus, there's a massive Peking duck bet that's going on the show as well, which is 4 different games.
So far, 4 games.
4 different games. Perloff and I going head-to-head. I was asked yesterday by Samter. Was it Samter? Who asked me if I eat duck, even though I have the duck suit? Oh, Perloff, you asked me that.
Yeah. I mean, it feels wrong to me. Whack.
How dare I? So that's what's on the line. I said I do eat Peking duck. So whoever wins and gets the most right, then they have to. The loser buys the Peking duck, and it starts with the most important game of the weekend, which I think you and I actually view very, very differently. To me, the most important game of this weekend.
But we view it the same way. But
I don't think we should see it the same way.
What do you think it is?
I think it's got to be Alabama and Ole Miss because of what's at stake here. If Alabama loses this game, you've already declared that Nick Saban is washed or whatever.
Yeah.
If they lose and have 2 losses before we even turn the calendar to October, I think you're seeing so much speculation about what could be the end of an era. I think that could be premature. I don't think that Nick Saban should get ran out of town for a season where maybe they have 3 losses or something. But I think more people will be like you, Perloff, and say, who's next? Who's coming to take over the program? When Nick Saban? When is he going to retire?
There's no way he's getting ran out. First of all, Nick Saban's deciding when he leaves. I'm not saying that anyone's going to call for his job. He has sole decision, and he's earned that right.
I would hope so.
I think they're going to lose this weekend. I'm taking Ole Miss, especially with a touchdown. But I think they'll have 2 losses. They don't have a quarterback this year. They know this is a limbo year. Like, I don't think anyone expects – this is the lowest they've ever been rated at this time of the year with Saban. I don't think anyone expects anything from them. So if they lose, I don't know that it's such a major headline.
Oh, I think it will be a major headline because of Saban's age.
Yeah.
And I was told this is so many 5-star recruits. And no, Maggie, it's not the end of Alabama because of the 5 stars and all of that. This is going to be Nick Saban's lulling everyone to sleep.
But they already got run all over by Texas.
I know, but I was told that when Nick Saban complained about NIL and about the transfer portal, about where college is headed, that I shouldn't believe he's telling the truth because this is him laying in the weeds and then he's going to do this better than everyone else, right? He's just warning the rest of college football. Well, it turns out that might not be true.
No. That all passed with the Texas loss. I mean, Texas is a Big 12 team, and they dominated them in the trenches. This year's not happening with
Okay,
Alabama.
so what do you think is the biggest game?
Well, I think that it's clearly Oregon against Colorado, and I think there's 2 major games, but that is by far the biggest. We finally get to see, after all this talk and all this hype, we get to see what Deion Sanders' Colorado Buffaloes look like against a top 10 team. That's incredibly valuable just to really get an idea of where they are. And this is the first... Well, actually, TCU seemed like a real test. They were 16, but this is the next real test. I think so many questions will get answered by this game. It feels like everything so far this college football season has been leading up to this game, and after it'll be a completely different season.
Okay, but aside from Oregon's national title, college football playoff hopes, which is not nothing, that's a big thing to be on the line here. But you could also, if Oregon loses this game, let's say, and they go through the rest of their schedule and win out, they could possibly still get in. I'm talking about actual stakes here. Like the real implications for the rest of the season. For Colorado, this is all just a good story. No one thinks they're actually title contenders. And for Oregon, they could make up for a loss. They could get it back on track.
Well, if you're talking about title, why are you talking about Ole Miss and Alabama?
Well, I'd say FSU and Clemson could be a big one.
Yeah, but I mean, even that one, you have a bunch of real contenders who are playing. I think, obviously, if you're talking about Final Four, there's only one game. Whoever wins Ohio State Notre Dame is in pole position to just glide into the Final Four. So if Notre Dame wins this game, then you can expect to see them in January. There's just no doubt about it.
See, I'm not 100% sure because I think for Ohio State, even if they lose, if they beat Michigan and if they win the Big Ten title, then they're still going to be in.
But I'm saying if Notre Dame wins this game, they could probably afford 2 losses and still get in.
I think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're Notre Dame. Are you kidding me? If they're anywhere close to the Final Four, they're not in. But not only that, they have 2 Heisman contenders. They have the leading rusher in the country. They have Sam Hartman, a quarterback. They are going to start challenging Deion as the big story if they beat Ohio State. Now, I think Ohio State is way down this year. I think that's obvious. But I just still think everyone's been dying for a good Notre Dame team, and this is it. It seems like it. They could beat Ohio State. Isn't that a gigantic accomplishment?
Of course. It's a gigantic accomplishment. I don't think it all automatically puts them into the college football playoff.
No, but it gives them a really, really great shot. They have USC later in the year, so they could lose that game. But I think Notre Dame really is in many ways poised to be the story. I mean, again, there's 2 games for me. It's Oregon, Colorado, then Notre Dame, Ohio State. And by the way, don't discount there's so many contenders who have real challenges this week. Penn State plays Iowa. That's a tough game. You have Utah, who's sneakily at number 11. Cam Rising's coming back. They have a tough game. You got Oregon State.
And Washington State. How about that?
Yeah, that's a great game.
Tupac.
Oregon State's won 7 in a row. They could sneak into the top 10 with a win here. There's just so much going on. But come on, we're going to be talking about Deion. You know it, Maggie.
Well, I know. I've told you we're talking about Deion, win or lose. But I think the Saban part of this is really big. Because, again, 2 losses before October, That's nothing. We haven't seen that from Saban.
They can't. First of all, by the way, if Lane Kiffin can't beat Saban here, then he's never beating Nick Saban. So
Also,
he should throw in the towel after this game.
Is Lane Kiffin perhaps auditioning to be Saban's successor? I don't know.
A lot of people are auditioning. I mean, I think Deion is auditioning. I think Dan Lanning is certainly auditioning in this game. Sorry, Oregon fans. My theory, I think James Franklin would be a great option for Alabama, too. There's so many good coaches. They're just going to take the hottest coach of the moment. So here's my question for you. If you had to bet on anyone, would you put Deion high up in the odds for the next Alabama coach? Maybe this year, maybe 2 years, maybe 4 years?
I think he's going to have a lot of options. So
what's better than that one?
Well, here's the only thing. I don't think Deion would necessarily be, I don't want to say intimidated by this, but just being the guy after the guy.
Yes, Deion would not be intimidated.
I don't think Deion would be intimidated by that, but is Alabama going to give him $100 million to come be their coach? Because that's what it's going to take. I mean, if these other guys like, Jimbo Fisher are getting $100 million and Brian Kelly's getting $100 million, I think Brian Kelly was much more accomplished, of course, so was Jimbo. They had already won national titles. Jimbo did. But it's going to take $100 million to get Deion. Didn't Lincoln Riley? It took $100 million for USC, right?
So
is Alabama going to do that?
Say Oregon's undefeated, and they go after Dan Lanning. Isn't that going to take $100 million? What's the difference?
Is that the going rate now for a college?
I mean,
coach?
Mel Tucker, who was in that big embroilo up in Michigan State, he was making $80 million.
I know, but that was crazy because he was doing that off of one good season, really.
Yeah, but I mean, if you could put together a 1 or 2 win season in a Big Ten or SEC, then that's the going rate these days. Anyway, Deion, I think the lesson though is Deion thinks of himself as big enough to take over for Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know if a lot of other people would really want that role. I don't think Deion's scared of that at all.
I think that Deion wants to get back to Florida. I just don't I just don't know which job would be opening between FSU. I mean, I don't think that Mike Norvell's doing a great job. I don't think that would open. Florida, but Billy Napier is just coming off a big win over Tennessee, so I can't say that he's in trouble. And Mario Cristobal at the U, they just won and beat Texas A&M. So I don't know who's on the hot seat.
Honestly, I think Colorado has a lot of advantages over those schools in the sense that look at where, first of all, they're the hottest state in the country, and they're between Texas and California.
By temperature?
No, everybody's moving away from California because of taxes and moving to Colorado. It's nothing but
I thought you were talking about Florida. Pardon me.
Colorado's like Colorado and Nashville are the it places in America right now. I just think that it is a sleeping giant. Deion, I think, knew that. And they're going to the Big 12 where he's going to go undefeated every year. Why would you go to Florida and compete in the SEC? I would stick to Colorado. Don't you think it's like they've shown they can be a very glamorous place? The Rock's coming there.
That's true.
I think that has a lot of advantages.
Deion, though, right?
Right. No, but I'm saying he can use that. Deion's big enough that he can make Colorado central enough that's just fine. I don't think he needs a bigger marketplace.
Yeah, it's not to me about market. It's about where you're recruiting from. And I know it's a little different now because of transfer portal and Deion's such a celebrity and star. But, you could stay in Florida or you could be in Texas or you could be in California, I guess, and just right in your backyard is all the talent.
Yeah, but you're competing with everybody else. You're in Texas. You're competing against Texas A&M, everybody else. You're in Florida. You got Florida State, Miami. So Colorado, he's got the whole thing to himself. Also, come on, Maggie. Don't you want to go to the Big 12 and just kill that conference for the rest of time and go to every playoff?
But you keep telling me that there's only going to be 2 conferences soon, the SEC and the Big 10. So I think I want to get to one of those places.
Whatever the conference alignment is, they're going to make sure if they could get Deion in there, they're going to bring him.
Honestly, let's all not be naive. He's going to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. 855-212-4CBS. Just kidding. 855-212-4227. Our pal Jay is in Alabama. Jay, you got a thought on the Ole Miss Bama game?
Well, okay, I've already gone on record because, Bama's got, a 4-game stretch coming up where it's a 4-game murderer's row stretch coming up. Mm-hmm. And the way they're playing, I don't care what quarterback. I don't care if they get an improvement at quarterback. Another thing I saw at that A game I went to, the receivers were dropping almost everything throwing their way. So not only they got a quarterback situation, the receivers, I haven't really been watching the receivers this year because the quarterbacks are so bad. But from what I saw, the receivers couldn't even catch when they hit them in the hands. So that's going to be a problem. But I already went on record down here saying, dude, I see them, losing 4 in a row, 3 at the least. And I say that
because hopefully they're listening and get pissed off and not lose 4 in a row. But
you'll be the bulletin board material, Jay.
yeah, I'll be the bulletin board material, and I'll tell them, hey, you're welcome, bro. But as far as Deion or Coach Prime, I'd like to give him his respect, Coach Prime. I really think Colorado is the perfect fit for him, and I think Coach Prime is the type of person the Bamas and the Florida states and everybody down there in Florida, hey, you didn't want to give me a shot when I was trying to get over there to you.
Right.
Now you want me. I'd rather stick with the people who gave me a shot when nobody else would, and I think Colorado will find a way to pay him, to make him an offer that he can't refuse.
But Jay, here's what you're talking about, though. Jay, it's a great thought, but what you're talking about is loyalty in college athletics, and that to me is crazy. And I'm not saying that's a Deion thing. Jay, thanks so much for the call. Good to hear from you. That's not a Deion thing. That's an everyone thing. I'd be naive if I thought, Deion, because Colorado were the ones who were, who really wanted him, he's going to stay there. That might be true, but I've never seen that. Guys go where the opportunity is.
Right. But I think first of all, he likes the aesthetic, the cowboy hat. I don't know if that cowboy hat works in Alabama. It's so humid down there.
Wherever he goes,
Colorado has
he'll match the moment.
It has a Western vibe, and he did well in Dallas. I think he can make this work. I understand what you're saying. Of course, I think the Alabamas and the Floridas are going to be tempting to him. But I feel like Colorado, he's proven already that he can out-recruit anybody from there, and they were 1-11 last year. Imagine now that they're this sort of juggernaut. He's going to get anyone he wants to come there. Why would you not want to go there?
David is in Dallas. Hey, David, how are you?
Hey, I'm going to tell you why I think Alabama would be a perfect fit for him, and there's one thing.
Yeah.
Tell me another coach that will walk in there after Saban and not be compared to all those guys and really be his own person.
Yeah.
He's got the big enough of a personality. People are going to say, well, Saban did this, Saban did. Because with Deion, he's so out of the box, it's not going to be the next guy that's, going to try to live up to that title. Second thing is, with the last guy talking about loyalty, has he ever looked at Deion Sanders' playing career?
Mercenary.
The guy was a mercenary.
You're a great point. Great point. You're right. And that's the thing. I just don't believe loyalty in sports, David. I just feel like I'd be naive to talk about that, but I understand where Jay was coming from. Here's the other thing, though, about Deion and Alabama, whatever. You're right. Deion's got his own brand. He's got his own unassailable stardom. He's got all of that. So being compared to Nick Saban, it'd be impossible. You wouldn't get those same comps as if it was someone who used to work on Saban's staff. However, Deion himself says he is a lot like Saban. He thinks that he is, and people have said this. They're more old school in terms of their coaching techniques and tactics. And he actually sees himself a little bit in the Saban mold.
Yeah, I could see that. And obviously, I think bottom line is he's sort of the new super recruiter, where Saban was obviously been a great recruiter for so long. I don't know what Alabama wants somebody larger than life. I don't remember. I mean, I know they pulled Saban away from Miami, but it wasn't like the Alabama coach in between, Bear Bryant and whoever, Nick Saban. It wasn't like they always had big name coaches.
Right. That's true.
Like, who was it? Gene Stallings. I can't even remember who. I think Shula
Mike
was
Shula.
Yeah. But I don't think Alabama is always like, we got to get the big name higher. That's not the way that program works. So maybe I think there's always a chance that Deion could be interested in them. And they'd be like, well, we'd rather have this former assistant come back. Keep it low key. Because I'm not so sure that Alabama is dying to get Deion. Who knows how they think down there, right? I feel like that could be.
Are they going to spend $100 million to get Deion?
Exactly.
Because
they might be more traditional or something.
That's going to be the offer. That's going to be the starting offer. Let's be honest. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Okay, coming up next, Jerry Jones reacts to the Trayvon Diggs season-ending injury. We've got that for you. We've got more college football on the docket as well. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff right after this. This show is sponsored in part by BetterHelp. Do you ever find that just as you're trying to fall asleep, your brain suddenly won't stop talking? Do your thoughts start racing right before bed or at other inopportune moments? Well, it turns out one great way to make those racing thoughts go away is to talk them through. Therapy gives you a place to do that so you can get out of your negative thought cycles and find some mental and emotional peace.
We've all been through some unpredictable times over the past few years, and it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/MNP today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MNP.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
You can stream the NFL on Westwood One for free, sponsored by AutoZone. All season long, you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the NFL live on the NFL app, by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports or on the Odyssey app. Get in the zone, AutoZone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you find a fix for free. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. All right, Maggie, we are getting close. I'm getting fired up. Tomorrow is basically college football Lollapalooza. It's going to be the greatest day ever. I'm doing nothing. Don't call me. Nothing. My phone's going off.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit and lose bets all day long. By the way, we have a bet going. We have a 4-team parlay. We need a 5th game because I was thinking about it. It could be tied at 2-2.
Yeah, that's true. All right, what do you want to?
Well, give me my Utah Utes.
Okay, you want to go Utah, UCLA? We could have gone Penn State, Iowa, though I didn't want to take Iowa.
Yeah, well, I
no
want
offense, Iowa. It's not that fun.
I can't believe you won't let me consider Penn State my hometown team. Penn State is a Philadelphia team.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to take.
According to you and no one else who lives in Philly.
Will you take UCLA, who looks really good this year, with 4.5 points?
They're getting 4.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take UCLA.
All right, I got Utah. So that's our 5th bet.
Okay, we're good. Whoever loses has to buy the Peking duck.
We could go 7.
All right, you're getting nuts.
Cincinnati, Oklahoma. That's going to be juicy. All right, anyway, okay, go ahead.
We can keep adding throughout the show. But I did have a question for you because I'm not sure what kind of, what you think of when you see stats like this.
Yeah.
When you see that one team has beaten another team 14 times in a row.
Okay.
Do you think, oh, well, obviously 15 is going to happen. They have their number. Or do you think, oh, the other team is due?
Of course you think the team is going to win its 15th in a row.
It's funny because I actually think maybe a team is due. Like, this is the Patriots who have won 14 straight over the New York Jets. Patriots are desperate at 0-2. It just seems to me like these things can't last. Not in professional sports. Something has to happen, I think, to break this streak, right?
I remember there's a famous episode of The Simpsons where Krusty the Clown becomes a gambling addict.
Yes.
And he blows $100,000 to bet on the Washington Generals to beat the Harlem Globetrotters. And they ask him why. And he goes, I figured they were due. That comes to mind when you use that kind of logic. Well, they've lost 14 in a row to Bill Belichick. Surely they have to win at some point.
So you don't believe in their due?
I do believe in their due, but honestly,
the same thing's going on right now with the Rams and the 49ers.
But if you don't know anything about the two teams, then of course you're going to assume that the logical conclusion based on reason is that the team that's won 14 in a row is going to win the 15th in a row.
I know, but there's something about sports where it's like there's no way they can keep this up at this clip. Like, again, the Rams and the 49ers have this thing going. I think it's 9 in a row regular season. 49ers have won over the Rams.
I know,
but the Rams obviously
playoff game,
have one up on them for the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Okay, well, by the way, we're doing picks later in the show.
Am I picking the Jets?
I'm picking that game.
Oh, there's no chance in hell I'm going to pick the Jets. I just think that I do believe in being due. Like, it's due. 14 straight, it's like it's getting too rich there. I can't blindly bet the Pats there.
I'm betting the Patriots, and I'll tell you why. I can't envision them going 0-3 by losing to the Jets.
Yeah.
Because if they're 0-3 and they lose,
you think Belichick's on the hot seat? That would put it really high.
I mean, my buddy Tom Curran, longtime Patriots reporter, said he's been on the hot seat ever since Brady left. So I don't know about hot. It's similar to Nick Saban. I don't know about hot seat, but he certainly isn't building momentum. And 0-3 start, I just can't put my head around. Now, losing to the Jets and Zach Wilson, if Rodgers was there, of course.
Right.
That's sort of what it felt like. But you're there due theory. I mean, I'm not sure that's going to always hold up. I understand what you're saying. Like the Chicago Cubs were due for about 58 years.
Wait a minute. But this is Perloff, who doesn't believe in their due theory, but will change where he sits in the house depending on if your team is losing.
Of course, because that determines who's going to win a football game.
Okay. Just making sure the consistency is right there. You don't believe in the their due soup like theory, but you will move from one side of the couch to the other if the Eagles are losing.
Well, listen, if you go to get a sandwich and your team scores a touchdown while you're gone, you're gone. You're not seeing the rest of that game. That's just sports fan 101. Is there? I don't even know.
Just being a good fan.
That's being a fan, period. Of course you know that you determine everything they do. I have so many little OCD things about games, you have no idea.
I know you turn the sound off.
I turn the sound off. I turn it on and off.
How do you do that with a quad box?
I'm not a quad box guy yet. I'm a Red Zone and YouTube on my computer, and then sometimes a game on my phone, too.
Oh, wow. You're not just like mainlining this thing with the
problem
quad box?
Is there's been so many. Okay, so we're talking about Sunday Ticket. There's been so many local games that it's been screwing up. Like, I don't want to watch. So they've been doing double headers on CBS and Fox, which you can't get on Sunday Ticket. And by the way, I'm sorry, this is a total sidetrack here. When you're watching the game on Amazon, people are starting to complain that it's hard to go from streaming to flip around on a Thursday night, say you want to watch a college football game. We got to fix this, man.
No, it's impossible. And I think Amazon actually, they could say this to their advertisers. Like those commercials, I'm actually watching them.
Me too.
Because I can't look away.
I know.
I can't
me too.
flip out.
I know. And I'm so used to fast forwarding through commercials.
You know what this is going to really suck? When the baseball playoffs start. Because that's what happens in the fall. You're getting primetime NFL games, and you also have like the NLCS going on. And sometimes those can be on the same night. You could do two TVs, but not everyone has that.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking the 14 million watching the football and the 1,400 watching that NLCS game. What kind of this is America 2023. That is not the problem. The problem is if college football is going against NFL.
Perloff. Let's get to our Cowboy Quickie. Fallout here from yesterday's news. Trayvon Diggs out for the season with the torn Achilles. Here was Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas.
No one has the impact that he has.
Does that make you say, you know what, this is a championship type team. I need to go find somebody at that level too and add it to this team?
Well, you can't do that. That's like saying that I want to be Tom Cruise. You don't replace these irreplaceable players.
It's funny. I thought with all that plastic surgery, that's what Jerry was going for. Didn't he ask him, give me the Tom Cruise? Anyway, does this mean they're not going to make a trade at all? They're not going to find anyone? I mean, Jerry can be a little honest in these things.
I've been reading a lot. They like the guy who's filling in, Deron Bland.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. When the opposing quarterback has 1.5 seconds to throw, it doesn't really matter who's at cornerback. So I think that there's still a lot of – I don't think Super Bowl odds went down for the Cowboys. I don't think their win total went down. This is a key injury. He's a great player, but that pass rush has been so furious that it doesn't seem like a central issue right now.
Okay. Listen to Mike McCarthy, though, also on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas this morning, and he does make it sound pretty dire.
It was just awful. I mean, he was just playing off the charts. I mean, and that's the way he practices, too. So, obviously, a big blow. This is our first big shot of adversity. You know, we've had some injuries where guys miss games, but this is a real punch to the gut.
There you go. That's your Cowboy Quickie for today. I mean, McCarthy, talking about adversity, I think the Cowboys do get a bit lucky that Arizona, while they've been competitive in their first two games, it's not really a juggernaut or competitive team.
Don't they have another non-competitive? Yeah, so they're not going to face a real quarterback. Really, they have Purdy in week 5, but Purdy's not. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be an issue. I really don't. I think the Cowboys are still going to be between 12 and 14 wins. Now, playoffs, different issue.
Different story.
But if I told you that Lawrence or Parsons have been hurt, that's a bigger issue. Would you agree with that, or?
Parsons for sure. Parsons, I think you actually do see the totals come down.
Yeah, maybe. You could be right about that.
I think so. I think that's how big of an impact he is having. But McCarthy was right there. Trayvon Diggs is having a massive season. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Let's go to Sean. He's in Oregon. Hey, Sean, how are you?
Good. You guys mind if I talk about baseball for a second?
Nah. It's Friday before football. What do you got?
Well, you guys talked about the playoffs, and you guys should be watching that American League West race. Look at you got Astros in Houston, and
I know, but Sean, we don't want to talk about baseball right now. We'll talk about baseball when the playoffs start. How are you feeling about your Ducks?
I'm feeling real strong, and I think the best game to watch probably this weekend is going to be Huskies and the Beavers.
Yeah,
that's the one you should have some money on. That's going to be a great game to watch because Ducks, they're just going to make an example out of those Buffaloes. And this whole thing about the Heisman talk, that's going to end. And I heard you guys talk about the MVP earlier.
Yeah.
Well, before Tua got hurt, Tua was a big people were watching him. And he's just taken off where he left off last year.
Sean,
if nothing, he'll get sympathy votes and more eyes on him this year.
That's interesting. Sean, thank you for the call. Enjoy the games this weekend.
That's a great question,
The
though.
sympathy votes?
It's not even about – back to Shedeur for 1 second.
Yeah.
Say this game plays out like this, where Oregon just blows them away on the defensive and offensive line. Oregon runs all over them. Bo Nix plays well, but it's not even that. It's just the physicality. And Shedeur, not that he struggles, but say it is like a 21. Say it's 42-17.
Right.
Does that dash his Heisman hopes? Because usually you don't see Heisman winners get blown out.
Blown out. Okay, so I think I hate to do this because it's a terrible answer for you. I think it depends. Does someone else have a massive day? Right? Like, what else do the other quarterbacks do? Does anyone else have like this huge day? Does Caleb Williams have a huge day?
Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Like,
right, but you can't look at who cares about week 4. I'm just saying in the general body of work, though, when they're looking like, a Heisman winner has a 55-10 loss on his resume, that's going to count against him.
I think you get one blip. I think you can get one blip and you can still win.
I'd like to see
if you rebound and like it looks like an outlier where it's like, oh man, that Oregon game, something weird just happened in that game. I think you can still recover.
Can we get our research team, which is people generally listening and the Weedos and the Purple Drink, what is the biggest loss that a Heisman winner has had in the last 22 years? We'll go back to 2000.
Manny, you got that?
Yeah, the biggest single loss.
Get a pen.
Have they ever lost like 55-7 and then went on to win the Heisman?
Do you know this off the top of your head?
I know, but a lot of the Heisman winners have been on teams that have done really well.
Right,
so
well, that's the thing.
It's not like Barry Sanders when he was at Oklahoma State. They were an okay team.
Well, like RG3 was 8-3 and won the Heisman, but it's a rare thing. So Shedeur is, and I feel like that's unfair to Shedeur because what if it's the running game that costs Colorado? Why does Shedeur get dinged for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually going to be the defense that's going to cost Colorado. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Oregon. And that's why, I'm laying the points with my Ducks because, first of all, Bo Nix doesn't turn the ball over. That's not his game. I don't think the offense is they're not going to gift this to Colorado. They're not going to give them anything easy or cheap. And I just don't think the defense is going to be able to get stops, quite frankly. And it's not just because Travis Hunter is out. I think this is going to be a big...
Yeah.
The Colorado defense here is going to, I think, get more exposed than the offense.
Yeah, unless, of course, they defy the odds once again and find a way to win this thing. And then forget it. Then it's all bets are off.
I have an answer for you.
You got one.
Look at ACK is our stats department. Manny, you're off the hook.
Lamar Jackson suffered a 36-10 loss to Houston the year he won it in 2016.
Oh, that was good.
There you go.
And that was late in the season, too, November 17th.
That's surprising because usually...
They lost their last 3 games.
Was Houston a top 15 team? Yeah, maybe.
Can I ask you one more thing? Sorry for our stats research. Manny, you're back in. Who came in second to Lamar that year?
2006. I have no idea.
I don't remember. All right, Manny's on it. 855-212-4CBS. 855-212-4227. Could have been Darnold. It would have been Baker, Darnold.
Deshaun? Was Deshaun Watson in the mix for that bad boy?
Let's see. I have it right here.
It was Watson? Deshaun Watson that's the name.
Oh, Deshaun
Baker
Watson
Mayfield 3. D.D. Westbrook finished 4th.
Oh, there you go.
Jabril Peppers on the defensive end was 5th.
Huh.
And actually, the backup quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, who may get some playing time depending on what's going on with Jake Browning finished 6th out of Washington.
Was that the 1 year Washington made the Final Four?
Possibly. 3,400 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 picks. Not a bad year.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Okay, a lot more to do here, including...
By the way,
yes.
Who's the new backup that the Bengals signed? You called me this morning. You're like, the Bengals just signed a quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm like, who?
Sinnott?
You're like, Reed Sinnett.
Yeah,
he did not get an Heisman vote, but he's played before.
I don't know, but the good news is Nate Peterman is back on the Bears.
Yeah. So,
good news for who?
For Perloff. And I guess Nate Peterman and his family.
Well, yeah, Nate, sure. But
is it good news to get signed by the Bears? That's a separate question.
It's more existential. Can we get an update out of Cincinnati, by the way? I know they don't play till Monday night, but the latest was what? Joe Burrow had a sleeve on his calf?
He'll give us an answer in several days.
Yeah, several. Thank you for the Zach Taylor speak. It's time to Ask the Pros, where you can ask us a question. It's brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply tweet your question at CBS Sports Radio or at Maggie and Pearl using the hashtag #AskThePros. Be listening later in the show when we might answer your question. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Coming in, we check in on the most interesting quarterback in the NFL after this CBS Sports Update with Ack.
Sports Flash.
Well, it's been a rough week for rookie quarterbacks. The Panthers making it official today, ruling out Bryce Young. Andy Dalton will start. Gardner Minshew likely to start for the Colts against the Ravens, with Anthony Richardson still in concussion protocol. The Ravens will have their quarterback, but will be missing several others, most notable tackle Ronnie Stanley, center Tyler Linderbaum, as well as Marlon Humphrey and Odell Beckham Jr. The Chargers will be without Austin Eckler for the second straight week. Week 4 of the college football season has several big matchups involving top 25 teams. Ohio State and Notre Dame will square off in a primetime heavyweight matchup in South Bend. Out west, a great Pac-12 battle between 11th-ranked Utah and number 22 UCLA, and 10th-ranked Oregon will host 19th-ranked Colorado, with the Buffaloes coming in at 3-0 after going just 1-11 a year ago. But the Ducks have the second-best scoring offense in the nation. At Wrigley this afternoon, bottom of the 7th, the Cubs with a 6-0 lead over Colorado on home runs from Seiya Suzuki, his 20th. And also in that one, Jared Young is in his second. I'm Rich Ackerman.
Hey, it's Amy Lawrence. Be sure to listen to CBS Sports Radio at home. Just ask Alexa to play CBS Sports Radio.
CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. Minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, eBay Motors is here for the ride. All the parts you need at the price you want, guaranteed to fit your ride every time. eBay Motors. ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. In last night's game against the Giants, Brock Purdy led the Niners on an 8-play, 70-yard fourth-quarter drive, capped off by a beautiful 27-yard touchdown pass to Deebo Samuel to give San Francisco a 30-12 lead, and all but put the game on the ice. I think MVP consideration is warranted for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, that was a nice throw to Deebo, but get that MVP stuff out of here.
I will say one thing about Purdy.
Yeah. Two nice throws, the 2 touchdown throws.
I think his arm,
convenient.
for a guy who basically, I don't know if you were watching on Amazon when they showed the animation of the surgery they did on his elbow, was super gross.
I did.
But I think he's got some zip in his arm for a Mr. Irrelevant. Honestly, if you didn't know that he was Mr. Irrelevant, you would have said, oh, okay, that guy looks like a first or second round pick, has a decent arm. Listen, he was really inaccurate the first 2 drives, but then he settled down. I know they're just screen passes and Deebo Samuel breaks 9 tackles, but at least he could do that. That's an important thing for a quarterback to do.
Yeah, but not the MVP. The other guys, listen, Purdy is good. Purdy is good, and he's exactly what they need, obviously. But the other guys elevate Purdy. He's not elevating them. I'm not talking about good quarterback. You're talking about an MVP.
Yeah, but the leader on odds is Tua. I mean, can't you say some of the same things about Tua? He's known as a point guard as well.
No, but I think that Tua is better than Purdy. I don't even think that's a debate that Tua is better than Purdy. It's just, and maybe it's actually a good
if you took Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I think Waddle's out this week.
Yeah.
If you took those 2 guys away, I mean, what are we talking about here?
You know, I still think Tua would be able to find these guys. I do. And I'm not saying that Brock Purdy wouldn't be able to, but MVP, I can't get there with Purdy. I'm watching Deebo Samuel break tackle after tackle. I'm watching McCaffrey break tackle after tackle. Kittle, when Ayuk is healthy, he does the same thing. Hell, even Elijah Mitchell is great in the run game. Like, Purdy's just setting them up, you know?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's judge him when McCaffrey goes out with an injury, which is going to happen.
I know, unfortunately. But
and then, unfortunately, Kittle. Yeah, I mean they look ridiculous. But the Niners have not been tested yet. A lot of these teams have not been tested yet. I don't want to hear. I know Trevon Diggs is out. I do not want to hear Cowboys hype on Monday, Maggie. I just don't want to hear it.
I don't think you're going to.
I mean, are you sure? Because I'm a little worried about beating the Cardinals is going to put people in a frenzy about this team.
I don't know. I don't think it did much to help the Giants last week when they beat the Cardinals. It hasn't really helped the Commanders.
They were down by multiple touchdowns at halftime.
Yeah, which was shocking. Let's get to Aaron Rodgers, shall we?
What the is Aaron Rodgers up to today?
Rehabbing and appearing on the Pat McAfee Show. Rodgers talking about his rehab, feeling really, really good, already having some breakthroughs.
It's tough, though. It's tough. It's not easy, but There's been some progressions with the rehab the last couple of days, so it kind of gets the hope meter kind of trending upwards a little bit, the joy meter trending up a little bit.
All right. The hope meter and the joy meter are both trending up. Do you think Rodgers is going to keep talking about possibly coming back this year?
I don't know. What is he going to talk about for 17 weeks with Pat McAfee?
They'll find something.
I don't know. It's just like, honestly, we've already heard the update. We knew he wanted to play. What are we doing here with, like, I'm very curious on how he handles these interviews. This specific, he's got nothing to talk about. There's nothing to do. He says, I wake up and I rehab.
Yeah, he said he's also not watching football.
Yeah.
Like, he is, like, watching the Jets, I guess. But
right.
Oh, no, he's not that he's not watching football. I'm sorry, that's wrong. He is watching football, but he's not, like, prepping for the Patriots. Like,
he's not like to keep himself
watching
occupied.
film. Yeah,
of course not. But, I do think he's going to create this narrative that he's working really hard to rehab. But notice there was that thing, who knows, maybe I'll get back. Like, I don't hear a lot of that. At a certain point, he's going to move away from that. Because we know he's not coming back, Maggie, right? Did you hear anything that gave you any possible hint that he might be coming back this year? I didn't hear all of the quotes.
He also talked about whether he's doing any alternative healing.
Well, I'm not drinking any and the dolphin mating frequency, that was a joke as well.
No! It could be real. No.
Could be real, though.
I just have a question. Samter, what did you bleep there? He's not drinking any. Can you give me a hint? Without getting us in trouble with the FCC?
Yeah, think of yellow snow.
Oh, is that...
Apparently there were some rumors that was something that people would do.
Drink
to help,
urine?
Yes, to help, but he didn't use the word urine.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
But to help some recoveries. And I'm sure, because he's so homeopathic and all these different things, people were throwing out all these different potential, healing remedies that he was dispelling.
Okay. I got a question for you. Manny, you can fade that down. Thank you. Is drinking urine a home remedy for anything? What is that a remedy for?
I mean, I know doing that on somebody who has a jellyfish sting, that might be something. That could be a remedy for that.
Right, okay. So there you go. You answered my question.
But not drinking it.
Yeah, that was on Friends. I did hear that Manny Pacquiao, when recovering from fights, did drink urine.
Get out of here.
That's what I read.
Why not just Gatorade like anyone else?
Hey, maybe they don't have Gatorade in the Philippines. I don't know.
They definitely do.
I've never been there.
Yeah, well, I haven't either, but I guess I'm just assuming they have Gatorade in the Philippines. Manny, by the way, used to work out in L.A. I know they definitely have Gatorade there. What did he say it had, like, any healing property?
Pacquiao?
And was he drinking his own?
Yes, he was drinking his own.
Okay.
He was drinking his own. And
take a sip. It's like, oh, Bill, were you eating asparagus?
So I want to clarify. It looks like it may not have been Pacquiao. One of Pacquiao's opponents, Juan Manuel Marquez,
great.
Drank his own urine. And so I guess before and after the fight, he would just hold up cups and he would drink them while he was preparing for the fight against Pacquiao. I don't believe it was Pacquiao himself who would drink it.
But it was he thought it had a healing property. Have you ever heard of this before?
No. I haven't. I've heard.
You're a big pickle juice guy.
If you're like stuck in the wilderness and you can't find water, that's a way to survive longer, to drink your own urine. That's gone back for years.
Is this on like the Alaska survival shows that you watch?
No, it's I'm a huge fan of Larry McMurtry, who wrote The Lonesome Dove. And that was a famous thing when you're on the trail. If you can't find water around the Rio Grande, then you drink your own urine and you can survive for weeks.
So his response specifically was, if you drink or inject yourself with vitamins, you release them every time you go to the bathroom. Why not put them back in your body orally?
Oh, he's recycling.
That's what Marquez said?
That's what Marquez said. He said he did for 6 or 7 fights between Pacquiao, Mayweather, and others.
What was his record in those fights?
I don't want to know. I mean, Pacquiao and Mayweather, I'm assuming he lost all those.
Well, definitely Mayweather, because Mayweather never lost. I don't know.
Delicious.
I mean, that's taking, like, living like a less wasteful life. That's like taking it to the nth degree. Like, I don't even want to waste my urine. That's how much I am really, living on.
Do you guys ever see that terrible Kevin Costner movie, Waterworld?
I've actually never seen it. It was like the most expensive movie, right?
So there's at least a 10-minute scene of where he is dealing with a way of turning urine into water.
Oh. No wonder that movie bombed.
It was so bad, like kind of like where the segment is headed about drinking your own urine.
We can't be worse than Waterworld.
Yeah. No,
Impossible.
Waterworld. It was
We're
so
definitely
bad.
cheaper.
It was basically like putting through all these filters. I have no idea. How do we even get to this? Like, what's the homeopathic cure? Have we ever gotten to the bottom what
Well,
he
that's
was
what
getting
Rogers,
at?
like, why would he say it? I'm not drinking my own urine.
Yeah. Was that a rumor that was out there? We got to find this.
That's what Samter said.
Yeah.
Yes?
I mean, you know how McAfee's crew is. I'm sure they asked him a question in a way that he had to dispel specifically, I am not drinking my own bleep. But back to Manuel Marquez. He did win 6 of the 8 fights between Mayweather and, his winning streak. So he started out with Turdask, Coca Gym, and then he won 6 fights, lost to Pacquiao, lost to Mayweather.
Happy Hispanic Heritage
There you
Month.
go.
Well, by the way, you have to be pretty good to get fights against Pacquiao.
Yeah, Marquez
he was 55-1. He was 54-1 going into the Mayweather fight.
What is Aaron Rodgers going to do, by the way? Is he going to become like a part-time if he has to do these interviews every week, doesn't he have to start watching football?
What I think he's going to do?
Yeah.
I think he's going to start working on being a broadcaster. Not for next year that he's not going to come back and play, but if he does want to go into broadcasting, maybe he starts a podcast, as you've always theorized.
Well, actually, I heard him say something on the McAfee show today. He said Sorry about why doesn't he just join the staff of the McAfee show? It's got a huge platform on ESPN right now.
Isn't he basically?
Right. So I was wondering, I was thinking the same way you are. He's got to watch games and start commenting on them.
I think so. Maybe he starts a podcast. Everyone else has one. Guys who are current players. Every NBA player has a podcast.
I think he does more goes on McAfee and talks about the Cowboys-Giants game or something like that.
Right.
I mean, that would make sense. If he wants to do that, how good would he be? I mean,
great.
He'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brady would be good, but Rodgers would be amazing.
Oh, I think Brady would be good if he could be honest.
I guess so. I don't know.
That's my biggest question with Brady when he eventually does get into broadcasting. Is he going to actually critique people? Yeah.
I forgot about that. I don't know.
He's getting paid $370 million for that.
I can't wait till he criticizes Belichick for the first time. That's going to be awesome.
Hopefully Belichick doesn't get fired.
Why would he go for that?
This is why we should all hope he doesn't get fired, just so that Tom Brady can criticize him on national television.
But I tell you, it's tough to predict, but who would ever thought Drew Brees would not hit as a broadcaster? Because he was a great interviewer.
Yeah, and he was just really not natural. Pretty bad.
I think so, right. So I wonder which way Brady goes. Because I'm not so sure that he's going to be great.
No, there's no guarantees. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Coming up, the most desperate 0-2 team in the NFL. There is a definitive answer. We will give it to you next. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff straight ahead.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
The Altuve buzzer is definite.
Oh, you guys are nuts if you think he actually had a buzzer under there. He didn't.
What? Wait, Stu, do you believe the buzzer?
I believe the buzzer.
You do?
I think everybody
nuts.
believes the buzzer.
No. Think about how silly that really is. You think all these years later, nobody would have spilled the beans? Nobody said a word?
Yeah, but it was so awkward the way he was hiding something.
No, he had a stupid tattoo and didn't want people to rip his shirt off.
Oh, get out of here.
I believe that.
Who on earth?
Sure.
Anyone I know with a tattoo wants to show that tattoo more than anything in the world.
Wow, you guys, I thought I was a conspiracy theorist around here. You guys sound whack.
They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
The most desperate 0-2 team in the NFL this weekend, Perloff, is absolutely the Denver Broncos. I don't think there's even a close second. Welcome to the show, by the way. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Got a lot of college football to get to, so we will do that. But you can give me the Vikings, the Chargers. Come on. Denver has to be the most desperate 0-2 team. New head coach.
Yep.
You traded picks to get him, including a first rounder. You have Russell Wilson, who is this going to work out in Denver? We still have no idea. And now they have to go on the road and play the Miami Dolphins. Like, so much to me is riding on this for Denver.
I think nothing is riding on this game. Actually, no. I mean, they're big underdogs here.
Yeah,
then they have
6.5 points.
But they got the Bears next week and the Jets the week after that. So I think everyone expects them to lose this game. They'll bounce right back. I feel like this is not a devastating loss because Miami's so good. Like, you're going to Miami, who has arguably been the best team in the AFC right now. You can't put that kind of pressure on the road.
I know, but don't you feel like it's kind of mounting? Like, is this going to work? The relationship of the coach and the quarterback has been so scrutinized here. And if you lay an egg against Miami, sure, Miami's good, but you're supposed to be good. Like, that's the thing that we forget about Denver. They were so bad last year that I feel like everyone's kind of turned away. Like, no, you have a top paid quarterback in the league. You have one of the top paid coaches and someone who was brought in to win titles, not like get close or be competitive against Miami.
Yeah, but you're a touchdown underdog. So I think we've effectively lowered the expectations for the Broncos. Because, listen, you're supposed to be good, but you lose to the Raiders and you lose to the Commanders at home.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you're not that good. I just think that if you look at their schedule, they have a lot of wins they can steal. This does not seem like one of them. This is a tough spot, right?
Okay, so who is the most desperate 0-2 team?
So the most desperate Owen team, well, they're all desperate, but I think you could argue that the Vikings are in a hard spot right here. They play the Chargers. So, by the way, we're going to do bets later. The over-under on that game is 54.5.
Yeah,
that's
not a lot of defense.
That's a gigantic over-under. So I think this is a must-win against a team that is also in a must-win spot. But the Vikings is like, if they go to 0-3, I will admit, I've been the no reason to trade Kirk Cousins train. But I think 0-3, there's going to be a lot of whispers like, wait, what are we doing here? We might as well tank, try and get one of those quarterbacks.
Yep.
We have a dome stadium. Caleb Williams will come here. But I don't think that's going to happen, even if they do go 0-3. But I do think the noise will get really loud there.
Well, and to be honest, for the Chargers, if they lose, how shocked would you be if there was a, Brandon Staley fired on Monday? Like, no one would be.
No,
it's a little early.
Week 3 is a little early, but
it's like week 3 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, if they don't get started soon, I mean, if they don't get a win soon, it's definitely going to be bad. They have the Raiders and the Cowboys. It's going to be really hard. The Cowboys doesn't feel like a win for them.
I mean, after Brandon Staley, after you blow that 27-point lead in the playoff game, it was 24-point lead.
Just don't ask him about that. He gets mad.
Yeah, of course he's going to get, a little prickly about that. I would too. But you're behind the 8 ball after that. That leaves such a bad taste in everyone's mouth. And then you start 0-2. Like, you really had to look good at the beginning of the season to make people forget about that.
Yeah, and the fact that you're a defensive coach, which is already against you in the NFL, and your defense stinks.
Yeah.
And you have all this money spent on your defense. I don't know much about how the Chargers think about coaches. They're notoriously cheap, right? They might not want to make a change just because what's the point? But this is definitely I think.
Well, what's the point is you're wasting some prime years from Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but I don't think making a change is going to help that at all, is it?
Well, you'd hope, right? Isn't that the whole point?
Like the Tony Sparano bump? I don't know. What are you going to get out of this team? Their defense is, I think they're one of the bottom 5 in the league.
Yep.
Who knows? This is going to come down to the final possession. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be Justin Herbert against Kirk Cousins. They're both going to throw for 400 yards. It's going to be a fun game. But I think there's probably more at stake here for the Vikings because they're looking at really they're in limbo. Cousins is gone after this year. At least the Chargers know they're building around Justin Herbert. What do we know about what the Vikings look like next year?
Well, it's a huge question mark. Who's going to be throwing passes to Justin Jefferson? Now Jordan Addison also on the team. But that's the whole thing about the Broncos, too. I think you start to hear a lot more, and I know you think that Russell Wilson is playing well, and there are some numbers that make it look a little bit closer to the Seattle days in the first 2 games this season. But aren't you going to start to hear some questions like, why are we paying all this money to a quarterback? What are we doing here with our coach? The bar was supposed to be set so much higher. I know you said that we've lowered the bar because of how they've looked the first 2 weeks, but that's not, I'm assuming internally the bar hasn't been lowered. I would hope not.
Well, I don't think that they put that much pressure on Sean Payton to win immediately. They were a terrible team last year, and they've already had severe injuries again this year. I think they look at Sean Payton as a 10-year project. I think that it's not all about Russell Wilson. Here's the thing. Vance Joseph took over as a defensive coordinator. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just awful. That's got to be coaching. They wish they could get Vic Fangio back in the building. So I think they're not going to look at Sean Payton for that. Sean Payton's an offensive guru. Russell Wilson's a quarterback. He hasn't been great, especially in the second half. But no, I don't see this as a referendum. I think there's bigger problems in Denver. Also, come on, what happened to Miami being the team, the juggernaut?
This is the Vic Fangio of a revenge game.
Yeah,
he's the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins.
Who's, by the way, have been kind of vulnerable defensively too. I think this could be a shootout. But I did look at all the weather reports. That's the one that might get hit the worst.
Really, because of the rain.
Miami. Yeah, so it's going to be raining, which can't help Russell Wilson and can't help Tua. I was actually thinking maybe that's a good over because both defenses have been looking really bad. But if it rains and they lose, I feel like no one's going to get mad.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. If you want to watch the show, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio, where I have to admit, the Weedos and the Purple Drankers, This was not one we usually get, but Michael Fries in the chat says, okay, I want everyone's opinion before I put money on this game. Who do you guys got tomorrow, Ohio State or Notre Dame? I don't know if I would ask people nicknamed the Weedos and the Purple Drinkers who I should be putting my money on. I love you guys, but you are not always in the right state of mind. That's how you got the nicknames you have.
Well, I'm just curious.
This is not who I'm consulting before I put money on a bet.
Is there any kind of consensus in there? I feel like I'm hearing a lot of people picking Notre Dame, and I'm on that bandwagon. I mean, come on. Notre Dame has got to beat Ohio State at some point. I love this game. I really think this is going to be a statement game. And I'm curious, if Notre Dame does win, will they start to become the number one story in college football? We've seen it before. That Manti Te'o year, it was all Notre Dame all the time.
It's going to take so much more than that to knock Coach Prime off the top spot here.
Well, okay, but what if they get blown out twice by Oregon and USC?
First of all, I don't think that's going to happen. But
I agree with you.
If you want to play this out, the what-if game, listen, here's the thing about the Notre Dame fan base. Like, they are huge. They're everywhere, right? It's geography means nothing for Notre Dame fans. However, I think we've seen them at their peak, right? This Colorado thing has, like, people coming out of the woodwork. We've seen what Notre Dame's bandwagon can look like when it's the most full. The sky's the limit for the Colorado bandwagon.
Yeah, but the Colorado bandwagon's bringing in a lot of casuals who I don't think are so connected to the story. I feel like they're bringing celebrities and people who want to comment on Colorado who will easily go away. Where Notre Dame fans, they stick. We know from years.
Yep.
Also, too, Sam Hartman's a great story. Audric Estime is just a beast. He's going to be ridiculous. I think Notre Dame could really capture the imagination. Listen, the fact that we're not talking about Georgia football at all seems weird to me. Like, at some point, isn't, like, the eventual national champion going to become a story in college football? Doesn't anyone want to see who's going to win the title?
No.
Or maybe wait till November for that?
I mean, can they play somebody, like, who might give them even a scare?
It's so funny. I mean, they're the two-time national champions, and everyone wants to know, is Nick Saban losing it in Alabama? Nobody's talking about Georgia right now.
No, they're just not the story. Manny, can we hear from Marcus Freeman, please? The head coach of Notre Dame was asked if the moment will be too big for Sam Hartman.
I think in his mind, he has played in games like this. He's played in some big games at Wake Forest, and this moment won't be too big for Sam. He year 6 for him. I have a lot of confidence that he'll be well prepared, and the moment won't be too big for him at all.
That's so funny. Year 6. Yeah, I hope.
It's game 5 for Kyle McCord. I give a huge advantage experience-wise. Why, if the moment's too big for Sam, what do you think of these Ohio State guys? Like, they got to be feeling the pressure, too. Kyle McCord has been nothing but a disappointment so far.
No, the quarterback situation, although the defense has been better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame hasn't faced a really good defense yet. Let's see.
I mean, Ohio State hasn't faced a major offense yet either. The same Notre Dame's, but they're both top 5 nationally in defense. But you look at their opponents, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at least Ohio State has played a Big Ten game.
Indiana, get out of here.
I'm just saying.
It wasn't basketball, it was football. That doesn't count.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, so you've got that game. We do have our Maggie and Perloff, got multiple show bets going on because that's what we love to do around here. Show bets, this one between Perloff and myself. We have 5 college football games that we have picked against each other. Whoever gets the most right against the spread, the loser has to buy Peking duck for everybody on the show in honor of the advice duck / the ducks.
Okay. So, want to review the picks? I know I have Florida State. I got to pull up the lines. I have Florida State over Clemson. What do we got that at? Oh, my gosh. It's only 1.5 now? Oh, boy. Okay. I have Utah. You gave me Utah generously. 3.5-point favorite over UCLA. I got the Buffaloes plus 21.5 versus Oregon. Okay. Can I remember the rest here? I feel like I jumped on Notre Dame plus 3.5. What was the 5th game?
Alabama.
Oh, yeah. I definitely got Ole Miss plus 7.
There you go. So,
do you feel good about your teams here? Well, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really good. I think that Clemson has actually kind of quietly been playing a bit better the last couple weeks. That Duke game was as bad as it could get for them. I think it's been a little bit better. I do feel good about Alabama. Nick Saban, this is it, kind of. I mean, 2 losses before October. This would be panic time for Alabama, so I do like them to bounce back here. Well, not bounce back from USF. They won. But now Jalen Milroe has the job. I don't think there's no more competition. Perhaps that leads to some better things. Well, who else do I feel good about? I guess my Ducks. Listen, I'm rolling with my Ducks. I love the Colorado story, but I'm going to ride with my Ducks. It's a big point spread, but I believe in Oregon.
Yeah, I'm not sure, by the way, that Saban is married to Jalen Milroe. I hope he is. I love Jalen Milroe, but I feel like Saban is really sort of quick to make a change again.
I don't think they have an option.
Ty Simpson was okay.
I'd love it for my SEC quarterback draft, my fantasy team, but I don't think so. And Buckner, you can't. Buckner
looked the worst of the 3. We can agree with that. I thought Ty Simpson was absolutely fine. I don't know what's going to happen here. Alabama, by the way, the thing about Alabama is every week they have a target on them. Every opponent is like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give my A game to Alabama. So even if they survive this, there's 4 more potential losses coming up. I don't know what's happening with them. I think it's okay. I think it's okay to have a down year. I was into them this year.
Okay to have a down year. Yeah, what are you smoking?
Listen, Saban's going to say, I don't have a quarterback. He's
and
already said it.
Whose fault is that? He's the head coach and head recruiter.
They've had nothing but you can't have an A-plus offense 15 years in a row. It's natural to have a small downturn.
Tell that to Pee Wee in Tuscaloosa. He is not going to take that lightly. 855-212-4CBS. Perloff and I will make our picks, Maggie and Perloff style. Next, do not move. So much more to do, including this Ask the Pros question, which I do have here. It's time to answer our Ask the Pros question of the day. It's brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Today's question comes from Santiago, who's in Pittsburgh. Did you hear a certain celebrity ripping offensive coordinator Matt Canada? You can submit a question by tweeting at CBS Sports Radio or at Maggie and Pearl using the hashtag #AskThePros. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. This just came to our attention. This is Dean Norris. You may remember him, Perloff, as Hank from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
So everyone, let's get Hank from Breaking Bad visual in our minds. He did a cameo where the person asked them to rip Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator Matt Canada.
Tell you what, Mitch had something to say. He needs you to get the out of Pittsburgh, okay? Mitch says the Pittsburgh Steelers need to fire Matt Canada. Mitch also says that you ride Mike Tomlin's he called terrible plays on the offense, so...
How much did someone pay for that? And that had to be one of the more obscure requests that this guy's ever had.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the first guy I would think of to do that one, but it sounded good.
855-212-4CBS. Samter, you love this.
No, I think it's hilarious, but I'm also wondering it's so random. The person, I guess Mitch, who decided to get this cameo.
Trubisky.
That's actually very funny. I wonder, maybe it could be Mitch Trubisky. Of all the people to select for this, the thousands of people who are on Cameo, how do you land on Dean Norris? How do you land on Hank from Breaking Bad?
I was like, is he from Pittsburgh?
I don't even know if there's any connection whatsoever, which would be even funnier.
I don't think so.
He's from South Bend, Indiana. Well, he went to Harvard.
Really?
Wow.
Speaking of, do you guys see, speaking of not Harvard so much, got me to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was on the Amazon broadcast last night.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Post game, which, by the way, can you give us a little heads up that this is going to happen after the game and maybe I would have stayed up and watched it?
It was better this way, but yeah, go ahead.
No clue that in the post-game show, Andrew Luck was going to appear as Captain Andrew Luck, the famous Twitter handle that imagines Andrew Luck as a Civil War general. And he showed up in the Civil War, getup.
Did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that Andrew Luck was actually funny?
No.
Yeah, he came up to the podium and said that the war was over.
The war's over. And then they played some kind of trivia game. Again, like,
it was great.
Tease this at halftime, you know?
No, I think it was kind of good as a
total surprise.
Here, by the way, did you see Captain Andrew Luck, the Twitter handle, tweeted, "Dearest mother, I hope my appearance on the magical moving picture box filled you with joy. As you can see, my resolve has never been more robust. Squirrel oil and your peppered chipmunk feet have kept me sturdy. Life is splendid. Give the cows my best. I love you, Andrew." That is Captain Andrew Luck Twitter feed. Give the cows my best.
Yeah, when Luck had that really scraggly beard, that's when they started the Twitter handle that he looked like a Civil War general.
I saw a video of him coaching high school football the other day. He looks like the happiest former player of all time.
Yep.
Like when
He's just rich and happy and like going to sociology classes at Stanford on a bicycle.
When Aaron Rodgers went down, somebody brought up Andrew Luck, and I was like, no, there's no way in a million years.
Don't even bring it up anymore, guys. Like, he's not doing it. He's like busy like planting a garden in his backyard. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. When we make our NFL Week 3 picks next, don't move.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff. Oh, man. This is a tough week to predict NFL. I feel like there's so much attention going to college football weekend. A lot of these games have not been properly focused on. I've been studying the numbers. I've been, working on my supercomputer.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I got a handle on it, Mag.
Before we get to the NFL picks, Michael in Ohio wants to talk about the Ohio State-Notre Dame game. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
I just want to defend. I got some flack for asking the Weedos and the Purple Drinkers for my betting against Notre Dame and
Michael,
Ohio State.
Terrible idea. I mean, they're called Weedos and Purple Drinkers because they're usually not in the right frame of mind. I do not think I would consult them before you put your hard-earned money on a bet.
Well, let me tell you something, Maggie. They saved me from taking my Raiders and the points against your Bills last weekend.
Oh, did they? Okay. Well,
yes,
maybe the Weedos,
so
a moment of clarity.
Yeah, there we go. And also, I want to talk about Perloff.
Yeah.
Perloff, when you guys were doing your list and your number, your everything, and wide receiver you and that, you were all over Ohio State wide receiver you, NFL receivers, Carnell Tate coming in. You did your research.
Yes, I did.
Appreciate that. You were all Ohio State. Then you turned around. Now you're a Penn State fan. And now you're like Notre Dame and this 39-year-old quarterback. You're like all on him. They're going to destroy Ohio State.
That's because, why? Because I watch Indiana. I watch Youngstown State was basically a old school run the ball battle, and then even Western Kentucky. I know they scored a lot of points, but something was off in the first half there. What's going on there?
Well, I think you'll see. You'll see tomorrow night. I'll call back on Monday. We'll see what I'm talking about tomorrow night in South Bend.
Michael, so what did the Weedos tell you to do? How'd they tell you to bet the game?
They told me to bet the over. They wouldn't pick a team.
That's so them. Michael, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Calling out Perloff. This is the Perloff bandwagon experience. It's Ohio State one day, it's Penn State the next, it's Notre Dame the next.
But everybody on that the entire Ohio State bandwagon has completely just unloaded. Like, have you heard anyone talking about the Buckeyes this year?
No. Not really. And I was the one who said they would challenge Georgia.
No, I know. It's just they really just have not looked like all of a sudden that offensive juggernaut slowed down. I mean, the same thing happened last year. They looked bad against Notre Dame early. Then they figured it out. But I think there's not a lot of people have faith that Kyle McCord's going to do it.
They still are 3.5-point favorites on the road in a night game in South Bend.
I know, but, I think we nailed it earlier. Sam Hartman, 6 years experience. Kyle McCord, 5 starts. I feel like there's a lot of reasons to go Notre Dame here.
I'm going Ohio State. Let's get to our NFL picks.
Maggie and Perloff's NFL picks.
All right, now, I think it's fair to, at this point, really put the caveat on this. Samter, read the records.
Do I have to?
And we're going to hold our noses.
All right. Andrew Perloff is coming in at 2-4, and sadly, he's in the lead as Maggie is 1-5 on the year. Her lone win, Seahawks Lions over 47.5, and a game that went into overtime.
No, that had hit before overtime.
I think that hit at halftime.
I believe Manny had the best analysis of this when he said,
"Barf."
Yeah, thank you.
Fade, fade, fade.
Yeah, I would.
Hey,
fade
nowhere to go but up from here.
Honestly, fade away. I stink picking everything this year. So this is how we do it on the Maggie and Perloff show. 1 game against the spread, 1 over/under, 1 player prop. Perloff, you're in the lead. Why don't you go first?
There's 2 games I love, which means who knows what. I'm going to take Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots at New York, 2.5-point favorites. I'll just stick with, figuring out a young quarterback in Zach Wilson. I'm not going to overthink it. Your theory that the Jets are due, I'm not going to go with that.
Patriots have won 14 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and here's the desperation. They're 0-2. The Jets are 1-1. There's more desperation in New England. I feel like their defense is still very good.
Yeah,
I feel pretty good about that one. So Pats, -2.5.
Okay, you're not going to like this one. I'm just going to preface it. Don't take this personally. Do you promise not to take it personally?
I know where you're going. I promise.
Okay. I'm taking the Seahawks, and I'm laying the 5.5 against now Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers. We know that Perloff and Dalton, like peanut butter and jelly, you two.
Yeah.
But I got to pick against the Panthers. I've not liked what I've seen. Bryce Young was definitely a part of it. But even with Andy, I just think the Seahawks are a much better team. It's not nothing against Andy here.
Yep.
But I like the Seahawks, what they showed on the road against Detroit last week. So give me Seattle at home, -5.5 over Carolina. Go ahead.
I'm curious. Do you view that game differently is it better or worse to have Andy in there or Bryce Young?
Andy made me think twice.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say Andy gains a point over Bryce Young, which says something about, what are we doing here? He's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I think it's a sort of a developmental year for Bryce Young.
Definitely. But He's not getting any taller, guys, or maybe heavier.
So last week I picked an under, and it just made my whole Sunday miserable. So I'm not going to do that again, right? No, I am, Maggie.
Oh, yeah.
The Chargers-Vikings. The over-under is 54. This is me reading too many stupid gambling articles, and I have to tell you, all the trends are when the spread is that high, which is rare, it rarely hits. So every time you think it's going to be like, you look at the 2 defenses, I have a feeling for some reason that the Chargers and Vikings are going to screw it up and end up under 54.
Yep. I think that's a good pick. I'm actually going to break one of the 10 commandments on this show.
Oh, no, I know what it is. You're not betting on an Atlanta team, are you? Not the Braves?
I am in such a slump right now that all the commandments have to go out the window, and I am betting the Falcons-Lions over 46. Lions were good to me last week with the over-under. I like both of these offenses, and I don't like both of the defenses. So ipso facto, again, I'm not going to overthink it. Lions at home. Give me over 46, and this is how bad the slump is. I've got to break one of the 10 commandments of thou shalt not bet on the Falcons to try to get my mojo back.
But you're not betting on the Falcons.
Well, I'm betting on them to do good things.
Or incredibly bad things.
I need them to do good things to score. I mean,
Whatever.
I'm
Did you watch
47-0, and that would be fine.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Steelers-Browns where they were handing each other defensive touchdowns left and right? Okay, I do like that one. I want you to jump on that. You picked them to win the division, so that you are in Atlanta.
Yeah,
but I do think that Atlanta's a very interesting team. We don't know what to make of them yet. I just wonder if they're going to try and slow down the game. Okay, props. You gave me a good one that I considered. Justin Fields at 58.5 rushing. Now, that is obviously the storyline of the week. Will Justin Fields run the ball? Will he play loose? But 58.5 is so many rushing yards for a quarterback. And listen, the Chiefs read the headlines. They know that Chicago wants him to, quote-unquote, play loose. I think they're going to watch out for the run. I'm going to jump on one of your picks.
Is that right?
Yes. I am feeling the Seattle pass offense. I'm feeling my guy, DK Metcalf, over 4.5 receptions. It is at -130. I think that Seattle is going to move the ball in the air effectively here. I do think the pass rush is pretty good for Carolina, but I feel like DK is a big star here. I actually think this game is going to be close. I would have bet for the Seahawks to win, but the Panthers to push them. I think they're going to show more offense than you ever thought. So they're going to pass the ball. DK over 4.5.
Okay, I like that one. And finally, for me, this is supposed to be some really heinous weather that's happening on the East Coast. We're getting a bit of a storm, tropical storm. It's coming all up and down the East Coast.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Crappy weather. What does that mean? Passing game goes bye-bye. What does that mean? That means maybe the best rushing quarterback of our lifetime could have a big game on the ground. Give me Lamar Jackson over 45.5 rushing yards. It's a big number. It's a big number. But you already have Odell, hasn't practiced 2 days in a row. Your left tackle is probably going to be out. You could be running for your life a little bit.
Yeah, your running back is obviously out for the season.
Of course. I just think this is going to be sloppy, and I don't expect either team to be able to get the passing game going big time. So I will take the most prolific rushing quarterback, again, maybe of all time when it's all said and done, in a big rushing game here against the Houston Texans.
What about the Todd Monken
not Texans, sorry.
You mean against the Colts?
The Colts, pardon.
Yeah. What about the Todd Monken offense and the Ravens redefining their game to be more of a passing game of Lamar Jackson?
No. As Perloff says, as our resident sad dad on the show, always talking about weather. It's a weather game.
You know,
it's totally different.
But because I am the sad dad, I have to warn you.
What's that?
Have you looked at the forecast?
Yeah, rain, right?
No, they're saying I might miss a game altogether now.
Well, I'm still taking the 45.5. I've said it.
That's fine.
Damn you, weatherapp.com.
I don't think you want too much rain. You don't want it to be like last year's Niners-Bears game where it's a total slot fest. I think a dry field, Lamar's going to go crazy too.
Well,
so what's the difference?
Yeah, I'll take it either way. 45.5. Is that true? I saw in the weather that it's supposed to hit Baltimore, D.C., everything.
I saw that it might pass it over now. So either way.
You cannot trust weather people.
Either way, I don't think you want too much rain. Have you ever tried to run around in the rain? Like, you're fast. I mean, you lose
Yeah.
you lose a bit
it's my short area quickness that really gets compromised.
Well, you run the 40 every year at the combine, and it's blazing.
I know.
Actually, I think you're blazing after the show, but
don't tell my secrets.
Yeah, but you're under 6. That's all we ask for.
That is true. 855-212-4CBS. All right, recap, Perloff.
Okay, I have DK Metcalf over 4.5 catches. I have the Pats minus 2.5, and I have the under on the Vikings Charger, which sounds insane, but 50 points is a lot. So those are my 3.
I've got Seattle minus 5.5 over Carolina. I've got the Falcons Lions over 46, and I've got Lamar over 45.5 rushing yards. Those are the week 3 picks.
Yeah.
Maggie and Perloff style.
Big bounce back week for Maggie and Perloff. I feel like this week.
Can it get any worse?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want the answer to that.
We've lowered the bar. We're not the Denver Broncos. Nobody's expecting us to go Sean Payne, but I think this is a huge comeback week for us.
Jeffrey Howell in the chat, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio says, weather people and weirdos. We all are just guessing. Very good. We like that. All right, coming up next, this was the one story that made me stop in my tracks this week. We'll get to that after this CBS Sports update. Here's Rich Ackerman.
Sports Flash.
Well, the 49ers are 3-0 with designs on going to the Super Bowl, and their management will be stable for several more years, with both GM John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan getting extensions today. The Niners have won 45 games over the last 4 years and have been to the conference title game 3 times and the Super Bowl once in that span. Austin Eckler will miss his second straight game for the Chargers. The Panthers will start Andy Dalton at quarterback with Bryce Young out, and the Ravens have several big names that are out. They include Ronnie Stanley, Marlon Humphrey, and Odell Beckham Jr. The Colts' Anthony Richardson has yet to clear concussion protocol, so it seems as if Gardner Minshew will be starting at quarterback. Tomorrow night, a pair of top 10 teams meet in South Bend, where Notre Dame hosts Ohio State. The Fighting Irish have had success over the years, but certainly not against elite teams in the last 10 years, going 3-12 in that time against teams in the top 10. The Cubs and Rockies today at Wrigley, and the Cubs 6-0 winners as Jameson Taillon started and got the win, his 8th, as the Cubs now have sole possession of the 3rd wild card in the National League with a half-game lead over the Marlins. I'm Rich Ackerman.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Want to give a quick shout out here because I love this story. The Louisville football team, 5 members of the football team were walking by their stadium yesterday afternoon when there was a car accident that happened at a major intersection. Perloff, the car, one of the cars just went right over on its side.
Okay.
And according to Louisville Metro Police, 5 Louisville football players got together and pushed the car back up from its side onto its 4 wheels again so that the driver could get out of the car, sustaining only minor injuries. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, actually, if you think about how heavy a car is and 5 linemen, that's probably not even that hard.
Well, thankfully, it was the lineman. If it was like the kicker, the punter, special teams,
the wide receiver group, you'd be in trouble.
You might be in trouble. But luckily, they haven't named who the student athletes are. But these 5 football players came to the rescue.
So when you're pushing that car over, though, if you do it too suddenly, then the car kind of crashes really hard. I don't know how this works. Could the 4 of us here, could we push a car over? I don't think so, right?
Absolutely not.
But you know that saying when your kid's in trouble or something, the adrenaline flows through, you get extra strong?
Yeah.
I still don't
thankfully,
think so.
this wasn't a dire situation. The person only had some minor injuries. But imagine how freaked out you are if you're all of a sudden on the side.
Oh, God. I can't imagine.
It'd be awful. And so, but all together, they can probably bench press. 5 Louisville linemen can probably bench press 300 pounds each?
No, way more than that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they weigh 300 pounds. They could probably bench press close 450 each.
Okay.
So do the
Times
math.
5, you do it.
I don't know. How much does a car weigh?
A ton? I don't know.
How much is a ton?
I couldn't do the math yesterday on how many hours there are in a day.
21, apparently.
I know. I'm such a moron. All right.
Louisville, by the way, 14-point favorite over BC this weekend. I think they're inspired by this.
Maybe. Let's get to our shot of the day.
He shoots!
And the shot of the day is brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos Tequila is brought to you by those who drink it. You got a big football weekend coming up. Make Casamigos a part of your game day. Our shot of the day comes from our celebrity NFL game picker this week was Patrick Renna. You will remember him from the movie Sandlot. He was the great Hambino. You're killing me, Smalls. He enlightened us on what it's like to be on the Sandlot text thread. You still have a text thread with some of the other actors from the Sandlot?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, it's great. We light it up once in a while. There's a couple Android users on there, so it's a green bubble text thread. It's pretty obnoxious.
Oh, no.
Text thread.
Patrick, kick him out.
I've thought about it, but I can't.
What's the last thing that lit up the thread?
I probably can't even say what's on there. It's
oh, no.
Horrible. No, Tom Gyree, who played Smalls, sends a lot of memes. He's also a big classic rock guy, so he'll just write his own lyrics. He kind of takes over the whole thread. It's really a monologue thread for him.
That sounds less fun than I thought a Sandlot text thread would be.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not just them shooting lines of the movie back to each other 30 years later.
That reminds me of Jim Irsay sending out classic rock quotes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
No.
If I put a Led Zeppelin lyric in our group text, would anybody appreciate that?
No, but we all know who the green bubble is.
Oh.
Not pointing any fingers, Mike Samter.
Oh, I'll point the thumbs right at myself.
I know. The fact that you're
never
so
going
proud of
my
it. I have to WhatsApp you things. It's crazy. Okay, so the big game of the weekend, and there are many, but all eyes going to be on my Oregon Ducks, Perloff, Eugene, 3:30 Eastern time, 12:30 Pacific, early for a big game like this. How you feeling?
I feel really sort of confused and conflicted in the sense that I have no idea what Colorado is going to do.
Yeah.
I feel like I came into the TCU game, and I'll be totally honest, I thought they were going to lose pretty badly. I figured TCU was going to finally show the reality of this Colorado team. I was one of those people. And then I
non-believer.
I was a non-believer. Then I became obviously more of a believer after they kicked Nebraska's butt. Still a believer. Colorado State was just extra fired up. But I'm way more a believer than I was. I'm shocked this is 21 points.
Do you believe in that?
Yeah, which makes me wonder, okay, somebody knows something here, and Oregon might have a bigger advantage than we realize.
I don't think Vegas has a handle on this.
You think they're guessing?
I think they're guessing. I think that, I'm taking Oregon in the points, but that's because I've pledged my allegiance to Oregon and to be a fan of the Ducks this year. But if I was not a fan of the Ducks, I would definitely take Colorado in the points. I don't see a way, I actually do think they're going to be able to keep this close and make it interesting. I don't think Colorado is getting blown out this year unless the defense gets exposed That would be the only thing. I think the offense is going to be able to keep pace with any team in America.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't feel confident enough to say that. I think, by the way, since you're so strong on this Oregon bandwagon.
Yeah, clearly.
I think I might jump on the Oregon State bandwagon.
Is that right?
Well, I was looking at some numbers. They've won 7 in a row. They play Washington State this week, who is really good. Cam Ward's great. Then they have Utah next week, who we don't really know about the quarterback situation. Like, they're 14 in the country right now. They could become the top 10 team. We could have, like, 2 Oregon teams in the Final Four. Let's go. I feel like I need to counterbalance your Ducks a little bit. Is that bad of me?
No.
Because I am a lifetime Penn State fan.
Yeah, a lifetime Penn State fan as of a week ago when you told me that Penn State is Philly's team. Okay.
I'm just jealous. You were having so much fun being a Ducks fan.
It's great. I mean, I'm sorry that you missed the bandwagon. You missed the moment.
But we get a lot of people call in and talk about Oregon State. I feel like this show could use a counterbalance. Maybe, depending on what happens this weekend, I might jump on that Oregon State bandwagon.
I think Corvallis really could be your season. Like, I could see you thriving there.
I've been to Corvallis. Lovely town. Yeah. We got to do a West Coast trip. We got to see a game. Let's see. We should go to the Civil War.
To the Civil War.
November 12th. It's Thanksgiving weekend, right?
We thought about this already.
Oh man, there's so many good games. The Pac-12, so many good games. I can't believe they're breaking this thing up.
We do have more show bets that Perloff made one with our pal Nick in Texas. Nick is a big Ducks fan, like myself. Actually, Nick is the reason I even have the Duck suit, is because I lost a bet to him last year. Oregon versus Cal. Cal couldn't cover 17.5 points. Not salty about it still. Perloff, if Oregon blows out Colorado, Perloff has to wear a Buffalo costume. Yeah. How's it going? Have you found one on the internet yet?
Can we invest $2,000 in a full Buffalo mascot uniform?
I think we have to.
It's really cute. I don't know. It looks like pajamas.
Why would pajamas be $2,000?
Because it's like the kind that you could wear on the sideline of the game. Look at this guy right here. I'm showing you a picture.
That's $2,000. That doesn't look like that. Shouldn't be $2,000.
Yeah, it's a full mask. It's like the kind that they actually use.
Like a legit mascot. All right. Can you find anything else? How about?
I don't know. My mind's kind of set on this $2,000 costume now.
All right. I love to hear you explain that to your wife, Sarah.
Well, every other costume is for a 5-year-old. They don't make adult buffalo costumes,
which is a crime.
How'd you find the duck? Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. Just like where everyone else finds everything. The Buffalo Bills have a Bills hat that you can wear that has horns on it.
Is it blue and red though?
Well,
I can't wear blue.
I'm trying to be a problem solver here. I'm trying to be solution oriented.
But then it means I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I don't know. Well, maybe I won't lose this bet.
Nick said to put it on Spike's tab. Do you think our boss would notice if we expensed a $2,000 Buffalo suit?
I was going to say, just write it off.
Nick's ridiculous because if Nick...
Do you even know what writing it off is?
Yeah.
Not exactly, but put it on Spike's tab. I agree.
Nick, if he loses a bet...
I love how you think writing it off and putting it on Spike's tab is the same thing.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I don't understand that. But so Nick gets to wear Deion sunglasses and the cowboy hat indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to do that? I feel like that should be the reward for winning, not for losing. Don't you guys all want to wear that Deion outfit?
I know, but we said someplace Jay Norvell would find it appropriate.
You mentioned church.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that. Nick said that.
Nick said that. Yeah, but I feel like Nick would love to wear that outfit somewhere inappropriate. Feels like we're giving him something very special here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to wear that outfit too. Can I just wear a cowboy hat and sunglasses?
Sure. We've got the cool sunglasses from the Air premiere, the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon
and the rest
movie.
of clothes too, right? Not just a cowboy hat and sunglasses.
Nope, that's it.
Okay, that's. I'm not going to be.
And a holster.
No, thank you. I'm out.
Deion
You're not running to work on Monday?
never clarified anything below the neck there, Mike. He's got a look going.
Comes sauntering into the office like
sauntering. No.
Did someone lose a bet?
By the way, you explained something to me about this game that I was thinking about it last night. I didn't totally understand. So Oregon is wearing like a heat infused uniform or something?
No, cleats. Like they are heat activated, so they turn different colors as your foot gets hot.
So as you're running,
steamy foot.
So if you're running down the field, like basically a guy could be going for a touchdown and his shoes will change color?
I think so. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Do you remember like back in the 90s, they used to have this clothes that used to change colors. Like you breathe on it and it would change colors? Manny, you're too young. But the 90s are in again, so. Go find one.
Closest thing I know that you're talking about is like sequins, right?
No, not like
Not like
sequins.
that?
No.
Manny, you know a lot about stadium names. It doesn't seem like you really have a wide breadth of knowledge on other things. You're like, write it off.
No, yeah, just sports, and that's pretty much it. Video games.
Indiana Pacers.
Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
You made that up.
Go ahead, double check my work.
All right, fine. Clemson hosting Florida State this weekend.
I know they have a really big hill.
They do, and a rock. Memorial Stadium, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I told you about college stadiums.
By the way, Memorial Stadium. Did you know the Clemson Stadium? I've never. Yeah, it could be.
Nick's telling us they're called hypercolor shirts. You might like this, man. If kids these days, young people, not kids, you're not a child, but young people these days wearing things from the 90s, like grunge and stuff like that we were all wearing actually in the 90s.
You know what's coming back? Starter jackets.
Oh, hell yeah. Those have been
those
back.
things are fly.
Carl Banks still keeps wearing that all around town.
He looks great.
He does.
Yeah, but I don't think Carl Banks is doing it to be fashionable, is he? I think he never stopped.
No, he's doing it for the drip.
100%. Would you wear a starter jacket now? Eagles starter jacket.
In 2 seconds. I had one as a kid.
Yeah.
Actually, now it's on my mind. That is what I want for Christmas.
Kelly green and white starter jacket with the Eagles logo on it. Like the
Maybe
80s
that
one?
should be part of the bet.
Yeah,
Loser has to
sure.
buy the other person an Eagles or their team starter jacket. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was a Bills starter jacket.
They're
would be
so dope.
deluxe.
Yeah, I already got the Zubaz too, so
Actually-
I can really get it in a time machine.
But how much do these things cost?
Don't worry about it. Less than the Buffalo costume.
Write it off.
Yeah. As Manny says, write it off. No idea what that means.
By the way, if Carson Wentz signs with the Jets next week, you know it's coming back.
No, it's not coming
You
back.
know it's coming back.
It is not. Because
Carson's corner, baby.
we always said it had to be put to a vote
Yep.
of everyone in the studio and the Weedos.
Yeah, you mentioned Carl Banks, which made me think of Harry Carson, who'd be great for Carson's corner. Carson Wentz could get a job. Come on.
No.
Why did the Weedos get a vote now?
The Weedos always have a vote. Thank you, Mike Samter. Thank you to Manny Rodriguez. Thank you to Patrick Renna, our celebrity NFL game picker from the Sandlot. He was awesome today. The Weedos, the Purple Drinkers, the callers. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. We'll see you.
You're in a 5-minute break.